Camera's rolling.
Baby, I'm too young to know any better, but I guess I'm just too old to care. I'm waiting on the morning light to clear the air. Now the sky is hung with regret, letting go that you pay flags. All the silence that keep me coming back. I'm the one that you hated. You know, the one you didn't want to believe. The one that you hated. Take a look at it now. I'm the one that you created. The one that you hated. Now the sky is hung with regret, letting go that you pay flags. All the silence that keep me coming back. I'm the one that you hated. You know, the one you didn't want to believe. The one that you hated. Take a look at it now. I'm the one that you.
What's going on, everybody? We're on Dad Talk today. I'm live. It's a crazy episode. I recorded that last night. I'm going to tell you, dude, that's been a long time coming. I've done everything I can to keep my private life behind closed doors. This movement is one of the hardest things I've ever done because there's people that just want you to shut up. It's like they don't want traction. Even to befriend people and talk about situations they don't know. Rather than go and tell you this, now I know I made my points in between reading that letter, but you didn't get excerpts. You got the whole thing. There was one sentence I left out, them talking about a medical problem they had. I read it. That was before my daughter was born. Let me tell you how crazy this goes, man. I had no longer posted something on my personal Facebook 5 minutes before there was a snapshot of it in a blog with more accusations coming out towards me last night from my ex. As soon as this, the last show started, she showed up under another fake profile, got several fake profiles so that she can come and get my pictures and keep up with what I'm doing. Okay, my ex. She got on here and said, "That's a note from when I was 8.5 months pregnant, begging you to come and see your daughter." I would gladly. I kept people's names out of it, let you see this whole thing, in where I was being told I needed to recognize that I was not going to see my daughter born. I wasn't going to have anything to do with her for 2 years. My family wasn't going to see her. Dude, how about the connections between the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case? Eric, I did not hit you. I did not throw anything at you. I was throwing it at the car. I didn't mean to hit you. Did you hit me or did you not hit me? The crazy thing about this, guys, is anytime I went to the system or told somebody about this, that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. I'm a guy. Me getting hit, it just didn't seem to resonate so much. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care who it is. I don't believe in violence towards anybody. And when you get hit, I don't know how many of you have actually been hit. The adrenaline gets to flowing, man. I think there was a retaliation wanted from them, from me. And it was one of those moments I realized, like, I've got to get out of this. Now, in almost 30 pages of notes, how much did you hear about my child? The only thing I would hear about my child is how I'm not going to be a father, how another man's going to become the dad to my kid, or, you know, when I would be able to see her and like all this. The rest of the note is my relationship that had been over. And that was it. Anytime I would reach out about my child, it became about the relationship. And it sucks so bad when people that don't have to wear these shoes and go through this and be like, why aren't you reaching out? Well, do I really got to explain it to you? But there's a thing. Look, man, I don't take excerpts of emails. And so what would happen is that kind of stuff would come. This is before, again, like I said, I did this dad talk stuff, knew what parental alienation was. I learned about what I'm doing now because of that situation. You have never, shall I say that I'm using this page with all of my followers to make this story up and used it to attack her. How many times have you heard me say my ex's name? How many times have you seen pictures of her? How many times have you seen names? Anything. If you go right now, she has personal pictures of me, family, the whole 9 yards, watches everything I do. That letter came in the mail because I had to block on text and I had to block on Facebook. After that 1 week where the son stayed with me and me and him actually get along. He probably hates my guts now because he doesn't know what I went through. It was all he knew, man. His father passed away. But after that happened, he befriended me on Instagram. Next thing I know, all of my pictures had been taken and posted all online. I'm sitting at home in a wheelchair. Mom, sister, my kids, my wife now all knows where I was. Seeing these pictures posted talking about me going around and sleeping with all these different women and all this stuff. Or how about the accusations of porn? Dude, no, none of that stuff happened. And it's crazy. It seems like, this is why I empathize with you guys. I believe they think if they say it, then it's true. Even this morning, I was begging you to come and see the child. That's the image that they want. No. And I got snapshots. I'm going to pull them up for you. And then I'm going to take some of your questions. And I'm sorry you guys are having to hear this. But when there's other organizations trying to demean me, my work, the people that I'm trying to reach out to, I did everything I could not to make it about me, about my personal case. But if you want to open that door, I made Dad Talk so you guys would have a platform to come and say, this is what's going on. All that time, I've held that in myself. You don't know what I've been through. And I don't want to reach out to that. I don't. It's never about my kid. When I very first started Dad Talk, dude, I started getting people in the reviews. It was friends of hers, right? They were convinced I'm this piece of crap. And so me and one of the friends ended up talking. She would throw slurs at me. They had them convinced that I was just this monster. And, I haven't paid no child support. Yeah, I have. I was given child support even though it wasn't court ordered. You want to see the checks? And it was cashed. Do you want to see the shirts that I bought and the diapers when I was told that was what my kid needed? They got taken back. Well, you could at least try. And I was like, I have tried. You're not seeing the emails where I ask and then it becomes this. And it got to a point, guys, where I had to just say, I can't do it anymore. Ended up at a therapist thinking my whole world was going crazy. You'll never hear anything good about me, ever. And I know that you guys probably got triggered through a lot of that because it's the same exact playbook. But there'll never be anything good about me. It's about assassinating the character and everything. When I say that I never went through the silver bullet, I didn't. But I guarantee you, had I not got out, nothing's off the table as long as it makes me look like the bad guy. And then there's the victim. If you read the note, mom, dad, mother-in-law, brother, anybody that was attached were people that made her victim. My parents, my kids, me, everybody. And I try to practice what I preach. And I've told my guys, social media isn't the place for it. We can get in here and we can connect. But you can poke the bear so many times that I feel like some of these people got to get set straight. And why would another organization want to talk to my ex? Would I go to their, are you that? Dude, again, stalking. They watch everything I do. Everything. I can guarantee you right now. And one of the reasons why I hate doing this is because I try to let it go so it'll go away. And guys, now that I've done this, it is going to ramp up because as much as I hate it, they love this. If you ever had that ex, it doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter what kind of attention, as long as they're getting attention. They love to argue. They love to make this. And online, they can give little excerpts of emails and get sympathy. I blocked out names because, unlike this person who puts my pictures and my personal business and everything that I try to keep private, unless you guys are on my personal Facebook page, right? That was my page for friends and family. And at some point in time, a lot of the advocates started coming on there, and it became my page to advertise alongside of Dad Talk. And dude, I'm just saying some of the most ugly stuff of this world come off of social media. But again, it's not emails. This is something that came in the mail, handwritten, and you can look for yourself. I won't go through it. She had numbered each one of the pages, would put slurs and stuff on it. And I won't even go into your family. They're unstable. They hate me. They have no business being around my daughter after what they've said and done against me. I don't trust them anytime soon. That's not manipulation or anything but Mama Bear. It was one of the first notices your family isn't going to see. Her daughter. I had nothing to do with it. She's not my daughter. Her daughter. My family's not going to see her daughter. You cannot keep going around and lying to people about me to justify what you've done. You're lying to yourself too. Here you go. Remember, Amber? I didn't throw a phone at you. I was at my rope's end and I chunked the phone into the car. I did not mean to hit you. Last time I threw something in anger, I was 20 years old and pregnant after her ex-boyfriend cheated on me, beat me, choked me, and left me for dead. Pregnant. All right, I want you to hear what we're talking about with the ex-boyfriend here. Read this stuff at the end. Some of this can sound very convincing because there is going to be some truth nuggets in there. And that's what will make the person that reads this, and if they keep reaching out and participating in it, start questioning their own reality. That's what gaslighting does. I didn't know what was real and wasn't real. But there would be times that this stuff would come out and you're just like, what? I was 20 years old and pregnant after ex-boyfriend. He cheated on her, beat me, choked me, and left me for dead. Yet, this boyfriend that was like that, if he wanted to go on vacation or he wanted to go and see his family and he wanted to take his son, the only way he could do it is if she went with them, even if he was dating somebody. Went with him everywhere. And then that played into my story later on. The one time my daughter got to spend the night at the house is because I allowed her to stay here too. Once I made her leave the next day is when all this stuff started ramping up. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, dude, I thought it was the olive branch. It was one of the worst things I could have ever done. If you read this note, why did you abandon me? Why did you do this? Why did you do this? And I hate saying this because she was wanting me back. She was hung up on me, unlike anything I've ever seen. Has she moved on? Have you got married? I did. That was over 5 years ago now, or almost 6. I moved on, and I can tell you, I could live the rest of my life, guys, never talking about this, mentioning her name or anything. But I have a daughter that I want to see. And I tell you right now, if she would come to terms with me, I'll pay her child support. I'll go and see my kid. Let me see my kid. Me and you don't have to communicate. We don't have to do anything. And I would do it. But that's not what's going to happen. When you got an attorney saying you're going to have to pay $400 an hour after you give all the money that you've got right now to me for legitimation. And if they are high conflict, I don't know how long this thing is going to go. And because it's been so long, you're going to have even a bigger obstacle. If this had been on the other side and I had threw the phone and hit her and had did the things that we are seeing here, I would not have to be going to an attorney, a court, or having to plead my case at all. And you guys know I'm telling the truth. Or do you think I'm lying? I was scared of her. That's not easy to admit. I was scared. I had never experienced anything like that in my life. Now, I've been in some relationships that were some doozies, man. There was something about these cases or these relationships. The conflict was familiar to me. As crazy as that might sound, guys, it was familiar to me. And so my wife now, I tried to dump her several times, dude. I was convincing myself she's doing everything right. So, and I don't recognize anything in this. So I've got to get away. It was a red flag, even though all the good stuff was happening. That relationship was like, I don't even know if it was 9 months. It was like 3 or 4 months dating. And then I moved her into the house, and it was some of the worst moments of my life. Again, been with my wife now 4.5, going on, like 5 years. She reads some of this and is like, we don't have that. And then trying to tell me that another man is going to become the father to my thing. Here's the thing. And I say this, and I mean this. If another man came in there and was good to my daughter, helped support, did those things, guys, I'm not going to be jealous of that, because listen, I don't want to be with that. But I would love for her to have masculinity in the house. I would. I can't be there. I can't. I got out for a reason. Let's get on to some of these next ones. Care to see her. She's not going anywhere until she's after 2 years, though. Then we'll see how things stand. When all of this went down, my next thing, being told that I wasn't going to be able to have her until after she was 2 years old, and I was getting all of this, I was, okay, you want to bet? I'm going to go get full custody. I would start fighting back. Like, I'm going to go fight this. I'm going to go get full custody. That'd be a snapshot. And see, he wants to take my kid away from me. He's about control. He's a narcissist. He's trying to get the power. Even Jeff Morgan's talking to him a while ago. She's reached out to him. She reaches out to my exes, anybody. I got to assassinate Eric. And the fact that other organizations are over there playing into that should really tell you a lot. That's the ones you want fighting for you with this family court stuff. I digress. I'll read the rest of it. Again, that's not manipulation, so don't twist my motives. There's little side notes in all of this. Or anything malicious. It's a mother's protection over her baby. You chose to throw us away, not the other way around. She won't be tossed anymore. She shouldn't suffer being away from her mother in the hands of the family and man who divided us and created this unnatural schism. You were malicious. This is your doing. And this is not me using her to get back at you. She will say that because she doesn't want that to sound like what it is. But that's exactly what it sounds like, isn't it? Plus, she's breastfeeding. That came right after. I was warned. Breastfeeding is coming into this. She can't leave. She's breastfeeding. She can't leave. Ask God to reveal to you how damaging it is to take a baby overnight from her mother. It's not healthy despite how the world works. Dude, religion was one of those things. Like I told you, there was one point in time because we had slept together in her version of the Bible. We were married. I want you to understand, how did some of this go so long? I just came out of a divorce from a marriage from 10 plus years. Second time being married to the same person. I tried to put my home back together. Numerous affairs have been committed. I started dating her right at the end before the divorce was done because I wanted to be loved and I wanted to feel like somebody wanted me, because I have never felt more unwanted than I did in that time. Couldn't walk. Didn't have any money because I was out of work because of my injury. Wife's leaving, not coming home. And dude, I had just went through 3 months of being told it was all in my head. I was making it up. And then I'm just controlling, and that there was nothing going on. When I would say, are you talking to somebody else? No. Dude, I had to do my investigative work. And if you're in a relationship where you feel like you got to read text and you got to watch every little thing you're doing, let me tell you something, guys, that's living hell. Get out of that. Do me a favor. Don't do like I did. I stayed in it. And I even still kept trying to make it work. But it was one of those, I had just lived through all this, being told I was the piece of crap and all this. And then I found out everything that I had been thinking was true. And now my family's splitting up. And I rush into something else because I had been a single guy. I've been with girls. I had a wild past, man. Being a married man and having the nuclear family is what I love. I love what I have now. I love it more than anything. And I tried to rush it in my own time, but there you go. Breastfeeding. Was told numerous times this is what's going to happen. Talking about social media. Be glad this is a page, or this page is a letter and not on Facebook retaliation of your past. Do you know what's worse than a cheater, a liar, an abuser, or even an infidel, as the Bible says? The type of person who would put away, throw out, abandon the woman he asked to marry him, moved in with him, became one with, as in married is by God's standards. That's what I was telling you about. Taking her to be his, then throwing her away when she becomes pregnant. What you did to me, you did to this baby and my son, leaving us homeless and stranded without a car, taking the car that I paid for, not even giving me time to find another car or reimbursing me for what I put into the one you took, or at the very least, my other car I sold to your friend for so cheap. Here's the deal with the car, guys. It was, I'm telling you, what she had was a piece of crap car. I wanted to be the guy. I wanted to help. She sold it. She used that as a down payment. She got to drive that car for months. And then when this stopped, I was the one responsible for the payment. And she didn't want to give back the ring that I stupidly went and signed for. I was stupid. And dude, I was in a financial tight. I was still going through the divorce. Now I'm a single guy. I went from being a single guy, a married man that had two incomes helping the home, to a single guy that was now taking care of my two kids that I had custody of. Plus, I just brought in two more that I was having to provide for. And now that I've got all this debt on my back, I'm about to have to do it by myself. And there was no amount of work that I was going to be able to do that was going to catch me up. It was a very hard time. I hate that she didn't have that. But then again, dude, I'm like, dude, there is no sympathy coming to me from the other side. It's like I abandoned her. No, you hit me. And when you do that, that's it. That's it, guys. Some guys will stay in there because they feel like they're trapped. And I felt trapped. Home felt like a prison. No, I had to get out. And I love myself for that. It was the one moment where I finally stood up for myself. Here we go. You don't know how many times I've cried that you won't be a part of her being born. You haven't even called to see if she's even alive. You don't care. What if you had? So here's the thing. This is before my daughter's born. If I called her to ask about my daughter, it would be about everything else, not my daughter. That's how it happened. She just wants me in here doing the arguing and stuff. When I went silent, it wasn't because I didn't care about my kid. Hell, look what I've been doing for the past several years. And you guys didn't even know that I went through this kind of crap because I want to help other guys that was going through this. This feels like torture and it feels crazy because when you tell people about some of this, they think you're crazy. But I was being told even before, you don't know how many times I've cried that you won't be a part of her being born. She was letting me know that I won't be there. If anybody saw her this morning when she showed up first thing, that was a note begging you to come and see your daughter when she's born. Okay. Are you reading it? Or when she grows to know another man as her real dad because someone else steps up to be there. Happily and genuinely. I'm doing things by the book. Next relationship, old fashioned. Yes, Deborah, silence infuriates them. As bad as this is, and I'm getting my truth out, they love this. I hate it. I hate it. And then I get stuff like this numbered at the top, roast break. And I'm sure you have things to air out about me too, but so far you spread lies. And who's the first person you spread them to? Talking about my daughter, thinking that I was trying to alienate my daughter against her. You did that pretty well yourself. I was convinced that my daughter was going back to her mom and trying to break up our relationship. That's what she had me thinking. I wasn't talking to my mom, my brother, my sister. I was getting a wedge put in between me and my kids. And this is what I tell you. If you're in that relationship, like, look, dude, one time in that 9 months, I did something outside of that and went and hung out with a friend. played drums and guitar for 2 hours and then was told later on that day, this is why we can't connect. You're always wanting to be with your friends. Or when I'm at the cruise and I'm in the beach, the guy's showing me the conch shell. I was there like 5-10 minutes and I see her slamming down her stuff and running. She was mad I was out there talking to somebody. It was pay attention here. Those are some of the excerpts. I read you guys the whole thing. Now I'm going to come into your comments. Good evening, Ricardo. Eric, I'm so sorry you were in a spot where you and your ex were on the same podcast together, airing your dirty laundry. Good afternoon, Jeremy. Thank you guys for the support. Somebody saying they got blocked for trying to find out the evidence of the accusations that was against me. There was accusations that I was getting $50,000 and $80,000 a month in donations, and it was coming. I could never understand where this kind of crap was coming from. There's nobody in the history of family law making that type of money. We are struggling to keep the thing going. I had somebody that gave me some seed money that I had to pay back, and I lost trying to make money away from the movement so that I could bring it to the movement. And when I lost it, I had very little left, and I started learning how to fix up cars. All last year, I fixed up cars and sold them to pay that person back, and so that I could still come on this microphone and do what I'm doing. You haven't seen Dad talk asking for fundraisers. Where's my birthday fundraisers? I'm not getting paid a salary for it. No. And when we did have money, you saw us going places. Why would people even be worried about that kind of crap? I don't want to get into that whole part. This is my other story. Jason, you're right. Some people convince themselves of their own lies, which is very convincing to other people because they are so confident in lies. Dude, they say it right now and 5 minutes later, it's truth. Even there, that was my letter trying to tell you to come and see your child born. There's 5-6 different times in that letter that you say, I'm not going to let you see her, and you don't need to. You don't deserve to. She probably still believes that was a letter telling me to come and see my daughter. I read the whole thing verbatim. And I would release it. But you know what? My family, her family, they got all their names on there. That's the bull crap, guys. And people might say, this doesn't need to be out there. I agree. It's already out there on me. Pictures of my kids. All this stuff that's being out there. It is scary. It is scary. Would you not call that harassment? Would you not call that stalking? Dude, I had to block cell phone communication. I had to block just about all communication, and it even comes in the mail. That one came in the mail when I would go to see my daughter, when I'd leave, trying to put letters in my hand, wanting me to read stuff like this. And you know what, guys? I used to read it, and there was times that I was almost convinced, like, man, you went through a divorce. Now this family's, man, I thought I was a horrible person. No, dude. I was a man that went through some challenges. I made my mistakes. I had my part in it, but I'm a good dad. There is nothing in there that says Eric is not good to his kids and can't take care of her and can't be trusted. I raise daughters. And that's the other thing. They'll go to the exes. I've had some struggles with my daughters over the past year and a half, but I guarantee they'll tell you they still love me. And the reason why was because daddy was trying to be a daddy and not a friend. That's what's got me in problems with my other children. And the parents have a completely different view than me. The things I say no to, they're okay with it. That's where our problems come. And I've had my struggles with them, but I can tell you, I could take 10 of both of them at the same time before I can this one. Coming down through here. You guys got some questions? Tell me. Oh, Jason, how are these people on your personal page? I follow but can't comment on your personal page or videos. Dude, I have blocked them. They go and make all these fake profiles. The same thing as what it was on, the same thing that it was on this morning in a fake profile so they can come and talk. And it's like, no matter what you do, my only other option would be just to shut down Dad Talk, not put anything online, and just like completely isolate. And there was several times that I deactivated my Facebook. You know, the sad thing is we went to school together. So a lot of the people that I know, and you know, what's sad, if people remember me back from school, they remember a completely different Eric, the preacher's son that got in trouble nonstop. So it wouldn't be hard for somebody to be convinced that I was that type of guy. No, I'm not. I hope somebody wouldn't judge somebody based upon 13, 14, 15 years old when they're almost 40. But if that's what you know, it would be easy to convince. So there has just been so much of this put out there to the point that I have other advocates reaching out. Are you alienated? Like thinking that I have no experience in this. I just get on here and talk about it, I guess, to talk about it like I'm being an actor. Is that any different than what the battle that you're fighting in family court with false allegations, guys? And it's the reason why I don't do more with other people. It's, yeah, Sabrina, poor me sob story. Isn't it strange that the same story is told about the guys before you as well? Well, he beat me, bloodied me, choked me, left me for dead. There was a point in time where she said my kids, 7 and 12 years old, told her son they wanted him to die, choke to death, and drown in his own blood. And that's what I said. It's crazy because some of this can be convincing, and then you get to these points and it's like, oh my God. How do you communicate with that? How? Like, you want me to go communicate with that? I'm telling you, it did me no good. I tried, and it was gaslighting and trying to flip it to make it look like they did nothing wrong. Always. I have even tried being the person. Look, I'm sorry. I made the mistakes. I shouldn't have moved you over here. I shouldn't have done this. It's all me. But can we get past that? Can we get past that? I'm willing to help. I just want to be with my daughter. Can we get past it? Dude, you can't do that with somebody that's ready to assassinate the character. And I'm telling you, right before the plug got pulled on me, seeing my daughter, everything went peaceful. And I thought, wow, maybe this was, you know, like that year leading up to it, things are going to get better. Don't get tricked. Lauren, 100% what gaslighting does. They take advantage of the mental state they caused. Dude, I was mental. I was literally going out of my head. And finding a therapist was the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't even explain. That is a state of mind. And I've had several struggles with depression and other things. There was a time I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything because it was all that was on my mind and I couldn't turn it off. And it was just like, no matter, because you're trying to make sense of it, right? And the more you listen to it and you try to make sense of it, the more you realize this doesn't make sense. And I didn't recognize who I was anymore. That therapist actually helped me. It took me a few times before I seen something, but it was me being able to talk that got it down. Last night, as some of this stuff was going on, I'm not going to lie to you, dude. Did I get gaslighted into doing what I did? Maybe. But it was also, I've got nothing to hide. Nothing. So it's time my truth comes out. That's Dad Talk. Because I go on here and post pictures and try to make all these narratives for you guys, right? Because I got to convince you. I got to convince you strangers that my ex is this bad person. No. Read these notes. I'll give you the whole thing. Jason, yes, exactly. There are pieces of truth that make a lie seem true. So unnerving. That was it, dude. It is professional. And they can leave out one little part that'll just completely flip it back on you. And I'm telling you, it will make you question everything you know about the world. Everything. This is my thing. I wish they would get help. I'm telling you. If you got nothing going on, you got nothing going on. I will pay for it. I will pay for it. You want to go to mediation? I will pay for it. I will do it. Anything I can do to help, support. I'm not going to go buy diapers and t-shirts and do some of the things I did to be criticized for it later. And then it gets taken back for the money. That ring, I charged for $3,000. They sold it for $1,000, man. And then told me how I was a piece of crap and that ring wasn't worth anything because all they could get was $1,000 out of it. Everything gets criticized. But if they would get help, I'll go to a psychologist. I'll go to anybody. Check me out, Doc. Check me out. I'm not afraid of that. If there's something going on, I want to know. But I would pay for it, mediation, whole 9 yards. But I feel like at this point in time, my only relief is going to be going to a system that so far doesn't feel like it protects me. The second I go and say something about being hit, that should have been enough. But then to be told, you're going to have to pay for the legitimation. You're going to have to pay for this court case. And if it's high conflict, this is where it's going to go. The reason I'm trying to stay out of this, guys, is because I know it's going to be high conflict. And the money that I do have, I want to spend on my kids and my family, not you. Dude, read this. Anybody could read that and tell what was going on. And this is where I have the problems where some people say, like, trying to get full custody is alienating behaviors, right? I don't know how 50-50 would work out in this point. I don't. I'd be willing to do it. Like I said, man, I had the chance one day. CPS was over there. Her son got bit by a rabid fox. And when she went to the hospital, she didn't want him to get the shot, the rabies shot. Because it's very, dude. Again, didn't want the Wi-Fi on, tape all over the cameras, couldn't have a microwave in the house. There was all these things, and even medical and stuff. Like, we can't go there. Didn't want me wearing deodorant because of aluminum. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But because she didn't want her son to get the rabies shot, and that was so serious because he got bit by a rabid fox, CPS got involved. And they was there when I went to go see my daughter one day, and I had every opportunity to say what was really on my mind because she looked at me and, what do you think of her? And that was another olive branch moment. Sat there and paused. Said, she loves the kids and takes care of the kids. She's a good mom. When that CPS worker left, I got blessed out. Why did you wait so long? No matter how much you try to give an olive branch, guys, and I'll tell you that. Kids going to be fed. Clothes are going to be washed. That part is there. But it's this stuff that I'm dealing with. I'm not out there to assassinate somebody's character. I feel sorry for them in many ways. I have my trauma too. You know, but it is what it is. Listen. Jeremy, that's a narc for you. Partial truth, rewrite the truth, all still alive. But I'm the narcissist, man. I've been called narcissist so many times. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like, guys, focus on the behaviors. Because now I'm seeing what I would consider narcissist, calling the other people narcissists. It just became that word. I've got to throw a label on you. I've got to throw a label on you. So, Father X, so he choked her near to death, and she still sees him with their son, not consistent behavior. No, wanted to go out of town. If he was on vacation or goes anywhere, I've got to be there. I've got to be there. Amidst that and handwriting. Remember, the night my daughter stayed with me, the only time she got to stay with me is because she got to stay here at the house. The next day, like I said, when she found out, I was like, can you do this? Because I was asking her in a polite way to leave. That's when all this started. Jules, abused people don't make arrangements to go stay with their abuser. MJ, brother, what you're emitting is nothing short of a full display of man strength. I applaud your courage. You know what, guys? Ask me some questions. So it's like, that's what I'm an open book. Even if you want to know, like, my BS, I'll show you something. I can do that. I'm not trying to bring a narrative here. I want beyond this crap. I really do. This is another reason why I want to do some stuff outside of dad talk or at the family law stuff so I can get a little happiness back in my life. Some of this stuff really messes with me, man, because I have had my own trauma and I put it on the back burner to come and talk to these guys and then get accused of not knowing what it is they're going through. You have no idea in hell how much I know, you know? And I can't blame you guys for that. I'm sure there's many people like, why does he do this show? We don't know his story. I never tried to make it about my story. That's one of the biggest problems with this thing. There's people that always want to tell their story. It's my story. My story is going to change family law. No, guys, millions. This is happening to millions. It shouldn't be no surprise. Is there any of the stuff that I'm saying on here that actually surprises you? Because I couldn't have read that note a couple of years ago, especially when I started Dad Talk. I couldn't have read that note. Even now, my hands get to shaking and stuff like that because I just don't even like to go into that area. I had one time early on Dad Talk. You guys know how I like to get passionate, do stuff like this. They had taken a snapshot when I was like this, zoomed in on it. See, that's who Eric Carroll is. And people would send me snapshots and stuff like this. Even now, when the accusations and the drama goes on in Facebook, people try to send me snapshots. That's another reason I don't get in my messenger. That's not what I'm here for, man. It's just not. I know it. I know the world is ugly. It's funny. My mom, when she started working on here, you got ladies operating the Facebook page, by the way. That's not me. There's a lady that's picking out the post, and it's a lady that's replying to you, and they're amazing. They're father's rights people. But she was like, Eric, I've never seen so much hatred and ugliness in my life. I don't know how you do it. And up until that point, people don't understand. You know what I mean? To get a glimpse of it, you really see the ugliest part of the world. You really do. And it makes me sad, man, because this movement should be a peaceful movement. We're fighting for our kids. We're fathers fighting for equality. That's it. That's it. Deborah said, I understand because I know that's how my son felt because he knew he was going to be arrested. He was going to jail. I'm going to tell you, I was afraid if I called when that happened, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. She is pregnant. It's bad enough. It's a man calling and saying, hey, you know, I had a woman hit me. But then you go and say a 6-month pregnant woman hit me. And to tell them this story of what was going on, they would have thought I was the biggest liar on the face of this earth. Anything I'm saying right now, they can hook me up to a polygraph test. I'll live stream it for you guys. Serious. And if you want to, you want to expose Eric Carroll or Dad Talk, I invite you on Dad Talk. X, come on here. I'll face you with it. There was a point in time that I really wanted to avoid you because of what this does. But you're going too far. And I'm done with it, man. My daughter will be turning 6 this year. This all happened right before her first birthday. And I went there on Father's Day and couldn't get the door to open. So for people to say he's not trying, I mean, dude, there's a lot of pieces of work in this community. Jeff said, scared of how they can invoke the authorities who will consider you guilty in spite of the evidence. I have it right here in handwriting. Did I not pull it up for you guys? Yeah, right there. I didn't throw this at you. I was mad and tried to do this. I didn't mean to hit you with it. Dude, I was going through Johnny Depp and Amber Heard way before. Way before. Deshaun said, I got a little behind on payments. Child support took my CDL, my main income for spring and summer. They say I need $1,000 and they'll give it back now. I have to drive around illegally to hustle money. I do, man. Agreed with the boyfriend part. I mean, seriously, why would you want to go? Do you think right now, after all I've been through with either of my exes, I'm going to say the only way, because I had full custody of my daughters, you think I'm going to look at somebody and say the only way that you can go on vacation is if you bring me with you? Hell no. Hell no. It's a fear of abandonment. Cowboy said, love you, brother. Thank you for hosting a second stream. I'm always missing your first one in the morning. Dude, I'm doing this and I'm here to take questions because it's like you have your opportunity. What is it you want to know? Because I want to get beyond this. But I knew the second that I read that for you, every 10 seconds, you're going to have something going ding, 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 because that's what it does, right? I recognize that, recognize that, recognize that. And I'm telling you, like when they first came in, I didn't. And now I look at it, textbook. Father X, Eric, what happened behind the scenes to make all this come out now? Sorry you feel you have to do this. I would hate this, reliving the past. There was a lot of things that went on. I don't know what has started it all, but there would be people trolling me, putting down everything I did for the community. And then, like, at one point, I saw them doing it. They were parts of other organizations supposed to be doing the same thing. And, dude, I don't sit there and do the back and forth. I blocked them and I moved on. Well, that pissed them off, just like my ex. Don't block me. Don't block me. I want to keep going back and forth with it. I ain't got time for that, dude. And that's what I say. After this, we're moving on. I got other stuff to do. But then that's when the attacks started coming out. In the year that I went to 43 states, there was people. I mean, it was probably one of the most popular years with Dad Talk. Because, dude, we went to all those capitals, met with people, we're doing all these conferences and stuff. And it was like, I think, work that this movement had never seen. Now, am I going to tell you anything big came out of it? I learned a lot, but we did it. And so a lot of the support behind the community was coming towards Dad Talk. There was people that lost donors over Dad Talk doing all this and then seeing them not do anything or wanting to support me. And so that made me a target. Well, then the Cash Jackson thing happened last year. And me and Ted, his lawyer, was good friends. We had agreed not to talk about that on there because here's the deal, guys. With what he was accused of, they would love nothing more than to say that is the image for this whole movement. We knew the consequences for it. It wasn't about not caring for the person or anything. You have to be really careful in what you do. Anytime I get on here and talk, I have to remind myself, this is how people will stroll it, spin it, or anything, because anything to do with fathers' rights, they just want to completely annihilate it. At that time, some of the personal vendettas started coming out, accusing me of making all this money in that year. I went to 43 states, did everything I could. I'm seeing videos of people that I once talked to that used to have shows on Dad Talk and organizations that I used to go do interviews on their pages, making podcasts called Expose Eric Carroll. He's making $80,000 a month. And it was, dude, at that time when that stuff was coming out, guys, after all that work I had done and I was exhausted, all that sacrifice that I had done with my family, I had $100 left in my banking account and it was Christmas. And that wife that held it down here while I was doing what I was doing, and those 5 kids in the house that sacrificed that time for me, with me, so I could go do what I did with Dad Talk. I didn't even have money to buy them Christmas, to show them how much I appreciated them for believing me when most people would say, you're crazy, you need to quit this. It was one of the most depressing times of my life because I really needed to be saying, guys, we need to raise funds for the next thing. Nobody in this movement is making like ridiculous money or getting what they need in order to be able to fight this fight. None of them. So donations get fought over all the time. But to make a ridiculous assumption that I'm making $80,000, and then so that's how it goes down the grapevine. There was somebody that loaned me some money to go make money that I told you guys about, and I lost 3/5 of it right away. Had enough left to buy a 68 Mustang, and it took me 4 or 5 months to restore that thing to sell it, and I had to split the profits with somebody. But then I got to get another Mustang, and throughout the rest of that year, up until not even 2 months ago, I don't think, I paid back that money for that person that believed in me and this mission. But I had to go work outside of Dad Talk to keep my lights on while still doing 70 and 80 hours here, not making anything, because I don't want to ask you guys for donations. And that's what it happens. If you go back on my personal profile 2 or 3 months ago, I forget, it was somewhere in that area, I made a post that said, there is going to be an attack coming. I'm predicting it. And now it's here. Well, at that same time, my ex goes and posts stuff all across social media. And I'm not talking about this. Again, you've never heard me say her name. You've never seen a picture or anything. She's got all my pictures, all the Dad Talk videos, making collages of it and stuff, watches everything I do. Again, last night, my stuff wasn't even up 5 minutes before she's coming and doing this. I can make my profile private, but I've got nothing to hide. I've got nothing to hide, and I use it to fight this fight. So at any point in time, I could have done that and say, stay the hell out of my life. But I kept that open for you guys. Well, organizations talk to her and go off of the same crap. So last night I'm seeing, oh no, he made all this money. And now he's selling these cars for all this money and making this. And it's like, is there something wrong with me going and busting my ass, restoring cars, and then after I do it, selling it to make a little bit of money so that I can do this? I shouldn't have to be doing anything outside of this movement. If anybody else had went to 43 states and did the lobbying that I did, do you know what their salary would have been? I'm just being honest. And what if I did? And guys, I would shut this podcast down, give everything I have. I base my life on it. Get any evidence that I've ever gotten something like that. Any. They're full of crap. And I want you to ask them, why would you do that? Can you show us where you're putting your donation money? That's what I don't understand. Dad Talk, you saw us go everywhere and do things. Where did your stuff go? But at the same time, if I had made that money in order to fight towards this, wouldn't you guys be proud of that? Wouldn't you? We saw documentaries, we saw capitals, we saw airplane tickets, we saw all these things, man. Wouldn't you guys be happy to know that I had what was needed in order to keep this fight going? The reality is we don't. And I have to do things outside of this while dealing with all this crap. But what they do is they discredit anybody else in the movement, and it screws it up for all of us. I'm not doing this because I want to take up for me or be like, I'm defending what they're saying against me. I'm doing this because you might have one person that's barely hanging on, that's coming to this page to get some encouragement. And then they look us up and then they see this bullcrap. Instead of seeing people fight behind the movement, go to the capitals like I was doing, making the films. I bought tombstones. I've raised money for people. We've helped bury people, the whole 9 yards. I can show you where our stuff went. But you want them to see this? It's asinine, guys. And here's the thing. This was going on way before I got here. This has been going on for years, Father X. Years and years and years and years and years. And it's what drove so many people away. They run from this movement as hard as they can because they get fed up of it. Okay? And so the reason I'm addressing it right now is to squash it. My plan is to leave Facebook. My personal profile anyway. I'm still going to be coming and posting the show on here. I am still going to post the updates to my personal page, but I deleted my messenger yesterday. So I'm not going to be answering messages or anything over there. I don't want to see it anymore. I want, when people come to look at this issue, them to see a healthy community encouraging each other, wrapping their arms around their brother rather than this bull crap. That's why I started that Substack. dadtalktoday.substack.com. I'd rather have 5,000 followers over there than the 750,000 that I've got in these other spaces, because this thing has got to be cleaned up. I started these platforms with 0 followers. I will start that one. And if you want to subscribe, I am planning on making many resources over there to try to help so that we can get resources to keep going. I think it's going to be Thursday. I'm going to host my first online video chat with you guys, where you can come on in a private group that's not going to be streamed and do a little venting like I'm doing right now, right? I want to create that so you guys have your safe space among other people that's been through it and understand what you're going through. That's going to be for the yearly members over there. I've gotten some like a special t-shirt for the people that go and sign up over there. For those that can't pay because they don't have the money, the podcast is always going to be free. There's articles and everything that I'm doing over there. I got a lot of plans for it, but I want to get it away from this cesspool. And if this is not addressed, it's going to keep going this way, guys. Why do I find it so important to do this? Because as strong as I am, and as much of a fire as I've got under my ass, I've been this close more times than you can imagine to saying, gone. And if Dad Talk leaves, what do you got? The ones that started all this? That's who you want? Hurt people, hurt other people. You're absolutely right. And I've been very hurt that my hard work and things that I've done turns into this. They'll go to anybody that you used to associate with. Look, dude, if you're friends with people, especially in this, how many of you guys have had people you've befriended and you don't talk to them anymore? I don't know what it is. It's one of those things. I got people I've once worked with and I don't work with anymore. Okay. But here's something about me. When I'm done with you, I'm done, and I can move on and not talk about you. I can, like my ex. But there's other people that can't do that. And I wish it would stop. I really wish it would stop. The family courts need to be completely broken down and rebuilt, because the family courts will always be needed. And hold up, before I say that, because somebody's going to get upset when I say that, there are kids that are being abused. There are people that are being abused. Look at my situation. That's what the family courts are supposed to be for. If they were there taking care of the cases that need to be listened to and took these other cases out of there, family court might actually have a bit of integrity to it, because we need to protect our babies and we need to protect people from this stuff. I'd say the majority of cases going through there should never have been in family court. That's my heart on it. That's how I feel. And that's probably, yeah. MJ, there's toxic, there's nuclear, there's hydro, but then you have antimatter, and that's me. I can't do the trapped home. I require my own space. Dude, I have not ever feared going home as much as I did then. I wish that, like I said, then we just move on. Let me see my kid. We don't have we don't have to talk or anything. I just want to see my kid, but I don't want to be with you. And every time I talk to you, it's about you and our relationship. My ex-wife beat me on a weekly basis out of anger and playfully, would punch me and mentally abuse me via gaslighting and so much more. The fact that this happened to you, not surprised. Dude, I could go through physical abuse any day before the mental. I'm going to tell you, the day that the physical, I was pissed off. Absolutely. But then, like, even in the note, like right after, I didn't throw that at you. I didn't try to hit you. I didn't mean to hit you, even after that. But it's not as bad as you going around punching walls. Didn't punch no walls. Had that one time, guys, where I stubbed my toe. And how many of us have done that? When you get hurt, especially your toes, that shit hurts. And when I got up against the wall, dang it. Like, it hurt. That wasn't towards nobody, and it didn't come from when I was in an argument. But, oh my God, he's erratic. Yep. So, Somebody said Eric was on a stream with his ex. No, she showed up earlier before I read this letter with a fake profile trying to say that the note that I read on the last one was her begging me to come and see my daughter when she was born. When this note in her handwriting that came in the mailbox, because I had blocked the phone and all other forms of communication, warned me several times that she was not going to let me see my daughter be born. She was not going to let me be a part of her life, wanted to get another man, make him daddy, and the whole 9 yards. And so up until this point, I've stayed silent. I let her put excerpts of my emails from where she would gaslight me. I'd respond, not knowing what I was falling into, and posting my pictures and all this stuff. Dude, my family's on there. It reminds me of Bashir. She had a page before John got murdered talking about how violent and scary of a man he is. He was so violent and scary, right? He's the one that's dead. He's the one that got murdered. And people play into this, and knowing that the other organizations that can't get over themselves want to play into it too. I hope you guys feel happy. Jeff Morgan, $80,000 a month. And you saw several people doing this. Jeff, when I talk about being at CPAC and the very people I went to go help, am I lying when I say they wouldn't even say hey to me, guys? This was people that we was friends with, talked to on the phone, on Messenger every day, thought we was a part of this movement together. When I started going to the political conferences and started getting a little bit of a spotlight, I don't know if it was jealousy or what. They didn't want to talk to me anymore. It was like I had done something very wrong. That was their area. You don't need to do it. And for the first time ever, on a weekly basis, you was seeing legislators on camera, me holding them accountable, having conversations. It had not been done, especially not to that extent. And because I did that, I became chastised. And I don't want to do that. That's why I'm not doing it now. I miss you guys. I hated going around the country playing politics. I did. Roman, we have much more important things to focus on. The government is tyrannizing us all, damaging our kids daily. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. And so I want to get it out. And you know that sad thing, guys, I want to get out my truth to you. And then what will happen is this crap doesn't go away. It starts getting worse. But at least if you guys know my side and what I've been through, hopefully you understand, because they don't want you listening to me, and why I do not know. They just don't. Organizations making false allegations about me, just like the ones that we're talking about. And because I haven't been able to go through the family courts, oh, Eric's not alienated. What? The same ones that will tell you that the family courts are not good and that will not give you relief will shame you if you don't go in there blindly without a game plan. It will shame you for not going into it. Does that not cause a red flag for any of you? The problem with me, and the reason why I know a lot of them want to hate on me, is because I don't promote the system. I want the system to be completely revamped. I don't want to tell you about the strategy, about how you can win in this system. The system is rigged. I want to see it cleaned up. That messes with people's livelihoods. It messes with experts and everybody that makes all this different money on it. Do you understand yet? You think the legislation and some of the opposition is bad? Our own people, guys, is where I've had more attacks than anywhere else ever. Why? You can sell people hope. You can sell people hope. Hope makes money. I try to be as open and transparent as I can with you guys because that's what's needed. You understand? Yeah, Jeff said that was the allegation. Was. Yeah, Eric, it's all a distraction. Please keep doing what you do. The victims, not the narcissist, needs you and your talents. You guys are why I'm still here. You guys are why I'm still here. When you're not making money, you're running on passion. And when your passion starts getting low, and then you're seeing your family attacked, you're seeing your character attacked, every bit of ounce of energy that I got. And then, dude, I would sit there. It was very common to go around saying, I don't listen to Eric Carroll. He's all about the money. What money? I need to be asking you guys for it. Do you understand that? I do need to be asking for it. I do need this show supported because I've got big plans. And I guarantee you, if I had money, you'd see Eric running. You'd see me doing something. I promise you, you will. I've got 5 different media projects in the works right now, and I got 5 more coming, baby. I ain't stopping. And then I'll tell you, hold people accountable. If you want the funds, where is it going? I'm getting this done, and I'm not asking for funds from you guys. Think about that. Why would I be attacked? It was one of the reasons why I went and did the cars, is because when I stopped asking for donations, it's like, you can't accuse me of this crap anymore. And then it still kept going. Oh, now he's going and selling the cars. Now he's a fraud. I'm a fraud for fixing up a car and selling it. Did any of you know that was against the law? I didn't think it was. And it takes a lot of work to do that stuff, man. It's crazy. What am I doing with sending photos like that? Inappropriate photo. I don't even know what you're talking about. I have absolutely no, unless you're talking about the notes that I was showing you up there. Question. When did you take the red pill? How did you get through all the crap to where you are now? After getting hit, it was the moment that I still stayed, and I went up until it broke up, just like I can't be here anymore. But I didn't have it to walk away. And it was one of those things, like I said, every time there was an argument, oh, I'm going to my dad's, or I'm going to go sleep in my son's room, or I'm going to go over here. And it was just reminded me of like middle school stuff. And on that last day, dude, I had enough, you know, after getting hit and then this gaslighting all the time. That day when they walked in the door, it was one of those, do I say hey, or do I act like nothing's going on? I didn't know what to do. You had to question everything. That walking on eggshells thing is serious. And once she said she was leaving, and then I put my demands down, my red pill came out of me. Okay, this is what you've been trying to get out of me. I want this back, and then you can go. Oh, well, I'm not going for good. Yes, you are. That was when I got red pilled, Sabrina. It was the first time that I put my foot down and said, I'm done. Because even in the other times of my marriages, man, when I would find out about affairs, guys, I kept trying. I was okay to, you know, try to get past some of that stuff. And I didn't know how to stick up for myself. MJ, I'm just saying, have a handful of these fungi. Take a look in the mirror and see what you feel about life. Then trust me, mushrooms can help those who want help. He's talking about psilocybin, dude. I did that years and years and years ago. I have to be careful with that. They'll start, Eric was taking mushrooms on Dad Talk today. No, probably about 20 years ago, I had my experience with it. And I see that they are experimenting with that with veterans and stuff now. But Lauren, damn, man, our stories sound identical. I'm having to fight both of my exes at the same time because they were trying to benefit from each other's story. That's what they do. That is exactly what they do. He said, well, thank you, Martin. He said, even if did not have any experience, you are the greatest. Thanks, man. But I do. It's like, try to say that I don't know what challenges and stuff are. Like, what? Why does that mean so much to somebody like that? Seriously. He said, it's like asking a good judge if he is a parent or not. Do not fold, Eric. You are helping so many parents who are struggling through hell, and we know you have passion and commitment to see change. I stand with you and behind you. Dude, it sucks, man. Sometimes, like I said, you don't know which way to go with this thing. We don't have a handbook telling us what to do. I've tried the political route. I tried the TV show. I tried all these things. The one thing I haven't done was walk away from this thing and just say, I got to go make a career elsewhere because this is too much stress and I'm not being able to build into my family like I should. And let me ask you a question. If I walked away and did that, could anybody hold it against me? I've done everything I can. And so in order to stay here and do what I do, and when I make that exit, I'm serious, dude. Not even 5 minutes after I tried to say, like, look, I want to walk away from this for a minute, there was worms coming and posting stuff everywhere. That's what this community does. And you know what that does? They think they're attacking me. They're attacking everybody that tunes in that wants this thing to change. And I don't know if it's because of the family courts start teaching people how to fight against the person they don't like, but it just becomes everything is adversarial. Everything is adversarial. One of my guilts is like when this type of stuff happens, I should stick up more and face it, but I get so stressed out by the argument that I become passive sometimes or just try to dismiss it. And let me tell you something, man. Nothing good comes from not facing your problems. I have definitely been a guy that tries to walk away from it, even in this situation. This isn't stuff that just happened recently. It's been going on for like the past year and a half, dude. People stalking my profiles, the whole 9 yards, guys. You have no idea. You have no idea. Let me get through here. And Isner said, shockingly similar situation. It's emotionally abusive and mucks with one's mind in unseen ways and unknown consequences of not talking about it openly. Yep, the more you take on their sickness, and the sad thing, you are doing it because you're empathetic. Dude, you can't have empathy. You can't have empathy for somebody like that because it's just used against you. Jules, she seems a bit unstable in what her beliefs on God and religion. Again, he was married. Yeah, you heard. I was told she had ovarian cancer and probably couldn't get pregnant. But she told me I had healed it because I had took turmeric. Turmeric. I am this horrible guy, but didn't leave my house until I made her. Her dad's house, one of the most horrible places, but that's where she was wanting to go to until I told her she was staying. It's like there's so many double standards here, man. I'm such a bad guy. You wanted to stay in the house with me. I'm such a bad guy that you wanted me coming over to your house to see my daughter and beg me to stay the night all the time. I'm not staying there. No, the worst mistake I ever made was trying to put that olive branch out. Let him stay at my house, but I sold my soul to the devil so that I could have my baby for a night. Girl, one day, this has been my journal. You'll never know how hard your dad has fought. I don't believe in that system because no man should go through that. That's why I say I need to go through court and give everything I've got right now to say this is what I've been through, to go get visits and have to go start talking to that again. Please explain the irrational mind, irrational thoughts, and irrational behavior. To do that, you'd have to get into family history. I think some of this might be hereditary. It's out there, man. Everything that was on there was like this story that tries to excuse all the behavior from the hitting to everything. And just like hearing about the ex, I had been told he was this abusive guy, left her for dead. And man, I was Mighty Mouse. I'll save you. Come here. I'm going to give you the life you've never had. Let's get you the ring. Let's get you the car. I was there to save the day. She had told me about this abusive guy that she had, this child with and everything. And I had heard about all the different abuse throughout the years from everybody. And I thought I was saving somebody, while I was trying to save myself. And, yep. That's what made me question afterwards. Like, I wonder what his parents would say about this. I mean, even the parents was accused of stabbing somebody in the stomach and choking and doing all kinds of stuff. And remember, he remembers this at 1 year old. Your son remembers something at 1 year old, something that vivid. I got you. That's what she was saying against the grandparents. And then when I talked to them, it was like, buddy, you messed up. I'm sure she's tried to befriend them now. She actually started letting her son talk to them after I came into the picture because I can't have them talking to Eric because they'll tell him other stuff. I heard about one time there was a fight with the ex, allegedly, where They drove a SUV into the front of the person's house, straight into the living room. That's what happened during an argument. Why don't I reach out? I remember when me and my wife got together, she had never heard of anything like this. And I know when hearing it, it's got to sound crazy. If you told Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's case, most people would have said, that's crazy. She's put a turd on a bed. You know, I mean, there's just some stuff that doesn't make sense. And so she was like, Eric, you need to reach out. You need to be reaching out. And I was like, you don't know what that does to me. And you don't know what happens when I do that. But she was convinced, no, you need to reach out. Them two have never met. I can guarantee you my wife would be the biggest piece of crap on the face of this earth and has all these judgments against her, even though nobody knows her. Okay. It's just the way it'll go. So I went, tried to get the olive branch again, was very careful with my words. There's like a month that goes by of the long diatribes and the same thing, relationship. And I remember looking at her one day exhausted because I was even scared to open the emails, dude, because I knew like I could go from having a good day, see that come in the email and just my whole body I become another person. And then finally I was like, you want me to keep doing this? You really want me to keep doing this? And she's like, no, I get it now. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Father's resistant. The trauma one goes through when you come off these stressful relationships. Trauma, all right. I've had enough of it. Don't need it here. We're trying to fight against this crap. Paul, half-truths. That's what it is. Again, I read you the whole thing. Get the whole conversation. What exactly does help mean, though? I'm just saying we need to examine what it means to really help someone. Dude, I don't know. Financial help, mental help, whatever. I get mental help. I suffer from depression. I've been to the doctor in the past year for it. Doc, I got a little bit of depression. Now, I think I've got situational depression because of what we talk about here. I've got fathers and kids dying and people coming to me for answers saying, what do we do to stop this? Yeah, I got depression. Stand over caskets. Stand there with grieving families. Yes, I've got depression, but I'm not afraid to admit it. And I wish more of you guys would do that. If you struggle from depression, don't be afraid to go ask for help. I don't like the fact that they try to hurry up and throw these guys on like SSRIs and stuff like that. But if you got a problem, make sure you can go and ask for help. And then that can prove to you, okay, like I'm willing to be self-accountable here. When you hear me tell the parts of my story is trying to let you know, like, I know I'm an imperfect person. I'm not here saying the perfect guy, the perfect dad, Mr. Dad Talk. No, I'm being human. And I think that's just being as real as it can get. People like real. People like real. And that's why I hated politics. Politics is the furthest thing from real. All right. Pissed off parent. Rat poison is 99% good food, 1% poison. Same thing when a lot of people share versions of stories. You have to be the villain in their story. Sad you've been put in a spot that you have to share the details. You know, Dwayne, I've shared this with him in confidence. I tried going to a couple of people to talk to about it in confidence, and then I just got to the point. It's like I can't talk about it anymore. I hate the conflict that comes from it. And look, man, I'm not trying to put off on women. There's some of them when these arguments come, it's like they thrive off of it. And you know, when I was younger, the drama didn't bother me as much. I hate it, dude. I hate it. I've been through enough of it. I want to get beyond that. I want to live a happy life. I want to get out my creativity. I want to take care of my family. And if you don't like me, you don't have to. If I don't like you, I don't have to. Go your own separate way, and let's go live our lives and go make something that's productive. This drama, it's not worth it. There's billions of people on the earth. I mean, seriously, get over yourselves. But yes, these half-truths, I get online. This is what happened. Yeah, you're showing to where you pushed me. You're showing where you pushed me. Imagine being told that you're not going to see your own child born. And here's the thing, guys. That wasn't the first time that it happened. I didn't get to see my middle child born. I found out several days later. That sucks as a father. And then I'm not going to give him your last name. Neither of the kids. Not going to give him a last name. Yeah, it sucks. But you don't want to be there. Really? I went a couple of days later when I did get invited and told. And it became a way to control me. If you want to see your child, you come here. Why aren't you asking about her? Why aren't you doing this? Because when I ask about her, you make it about you. Always have. Or how I'm a piece of crap to excuse what you are. Get them to tell you one bad thing about themselves, guys. Serious. In the relationship. What did you do wrong? Can't do it. Yes, every inch you give them becomes a new starting line. That's what I said, dude. As much as I want to have empathy, your empathy is used against you in situations like this. Said, LOL, sounds like we were married to the same woman. Hey, brother, I didn't get married. Wanted to get married. I engaged, and I got this close. And then by the time some of this started happening, I said, because I just got out of a divorce. And that's when I was starting to get begged. You need to marry me. You need to marry me. You need to marry me. And it got to the point where I was getting pushed with it so much. I was like, okay, I'll go marry you tomorrow. We'll go to the courthouse. But I want a prenup because I had a feeling I was being used. But I want a prenup. Oh, dude, that blew up. No, you're wanting to weigh out half of everything you've got is mine. The hell it is. It's not even mine. Everything I've got right now, I owe money on because I'm up to my neck in debt. But it was one of those moments, like I was trying to find out what's going on. When I met them, they were in government housing. I think they are now. She doesn't work. Lives off Social Security from the dead father. It's crazy. Like there was nothing earned, but I become a piece of crap too, because I would say, like, I wish you would do something to make some money to help me out here because I'm supporting everybody, right? But I'm supposed to provide all of it. Remember one time I gave like $200 for groceries, came back and there was all this organic stuff from like Fresh Market. There wasn't even one meal in there. Dude, I know I might be unhealthy sometimes, but being a single dad, I knew how to shop. For $200, I could have fed us for a month, boy. I'm like, Jesus, man, give me that 2 loaves of bread and a fish. I'll feed an army. I knew how to do it, whether I had to cut it up into smaller pieces so it had more breading on it when I fried it. You know what I mean? Like, we don't even have a meal. And it was just, I couldn't put up with it. Now I got the ring, I got the car, I got the divorce I got to pay for. Now there's 3 kids in the house, plus her. And then I'm just not doing enough. Scooty, high cash prior to divorce. She is. What it sounded like. It's okay to call people narcissistic these days. The number of narcissistic people in society has spiked because of becoming an influencer. Dude, I will say, as much as I hate talking about that, like narcissism and social media go good hand in hand together. It's another reason why I'm wanting to get off of it. People show the fake parts of their lives, try to act like the bad parts aren't there. They show you what they want to show you, and it's given this image, especially to the youth, that they're going on and comparing themselves with these influencers and stuff. Suicide, when social media came out, skyrocketed, right? There is just so much with social media that I don't like. I like the fact that I'm able to come on here and do what I'm doing with you guys right now and be able to reach you. But at the same time, like what it does to me mentally, sitting on here, nobody's meant to sit there and watch these comments and people fussing with each other. It shows you the ugliest parts of the world. And that's like when my mom, she'll come to me like, Eric, you need to know about a comment or something. I don't want to hear it. I already know. Move on. That's what I've had to learn to do, guys, is move on. These are people that, I mean, the way people talk to each other, it's scary. And what's it going to be like when our kids grow up and then they have kids? We have an obligation to try to do something about this now. And that's what I say. It's not just family court stuff, man. Look at this. Look at the world. Daniel Duran's, while you're counting up the hours of lost time, the same dysfunctional personality traits will cause a conflict with your daughter. Her clock is counting down. She will be coming back to you. Dude, she will hate me. My biggest fear is that she's going to hate me, think that I wanted nothing to do with her, and that I didn't try. That should be one of the most glorious moments when you do get to reconnect, right? It's scary for me because I don't know what to expect. When I left, her first and last words to me was "Dad." Wasn't even walking yet. Now, we'll have no clue who I am, and there's no telling what's been told on me. I mean, you guys hear how big of a piece of crap that I am. I do stuff for people all the time, man. If she would have done this peacefully with me, I would help. I do stuff. I even built the tree house for her son, dude. I had no responsibility. Like that. I am a giving person, loving person. Whether anybody wants to admit it or not, I am. Part of what gets me in trouble is doing for others sometimes more than I do for my own. And I got that from my father, watching him with the church, running the food bank and doing some of the stuff. And you know what? I love that about myself. It gets me in trouble sometimes, but I would have helped. I'd love to do it peacefully. I'm telling you, mediation right now. I'll pay for it. Name a place. You need some help, I'll get it. I would like some alone time with my daughter and not having to communicate with you. Can we come to an agreement? It won't happen. It will not happen. Jules, they call it a helicopter parent. Oh, you have no idea, dude. When I talk about the son, follow him around with a bottle of water. Hey, you haven't had enough water every couple of minutes. Or grabbing the hairbrush. Hey, come here. I got to brush your hair. And he'd stop, Mom. Stop. Anytime he was left with me, like the 1 week that he was left with me, that was another reason for her to come back, though, because she's got to get him, right? He stayed with me a whole week while my knee is messed up. That really sounds like this bad, narcissistic, abusive person that you would leave your teenage son with this guy for a week, right? But let me tell you what happened that whole week. Calls every 5 minutes and texts. Are you okay? Are you okay? Did you drink your water? Are you okay? Are you sure you're okay? And that's how it would go. Yes, Mom, I'm okay. And wanting to know what we were doing. Even then, he befriended me on Instagram. I would have been there for that kid, even though I didn't want to be with her anymore. I would have been there for him just as much as I would have my daughter, because he'll hate me now, but I loved him. Don't think I don't still have our pictures from that week saved on here with your big smile. It sucks, man. It sucks. We just don't want to measure it because that would show the negative impacts of social media. Oh, dude, they did a good job with that social dilemma. It really opened my eyes. And let me tell you something. The most divisive things is what does the best on social media. Don't believe me? Try it. Go take a stance on something and go as controversial as you can with it and watch it just... They love it because that's what creates comments. Controversy creates comments. Comments and visibility creates advertising. It's what makes the world go around. And right now we're feeding into it. Guys, we are more than this. I see the profiles. I see you, Cowboy Crypto. All I see is a cartoon right there. But I know right now there's somebody either on a computer or a cell phone on the other side of that saying, I relate to this guy that is a person. And if we met face to face, we would probably understand each other a lot more than here. I know our words relate to each other, but right now we are connected through this thing. And this thing is very easy to miscommunicate with people. and other things, right? That's why I loved when I was going out of town saying, this is where I was going to be. We want to meet up with you guys. I am scared to do that now. You know, the last couple of times I've traveled, I don't meet up with people anymore. I used to love when I was out of town, come meet up with Dad Talk. I don't want people knowing where we are. Very negative impacts. The world is so disconnected. Watch people sitting in a restaurant or something. They're all talking to somebody else on their phone or watching a TikTok video instead of sitting there and connecting with each other. Keith said 50-50 is the best way to get past this stuff, but I didn't have a vengeful ex in my second case. My daughter at 20 appreciated what her mom and I did for our daughter's childhood. Dude, like I said, man, I had some times that I had full custody of my daughters. There was times I didn't want them going over there to a man that I know was sleeping with my wife and that she was cheating on me with. What man would? You did that. I don't trust you. And you want my kids to go sit over there? Dude, that was hard for me. In the beginning, I was, no, I'm not. And I eventually had to say, they love their mom, Eric. You got to get over yourself. You got to separate your hurt for what they need. And I did. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do, but I did several times. My children, I don't want to go over there. You're going. I could have played into my own feelings, but you're going. Nobody's going to say, I didn't promote the relationship with their, I didn't get that in return, but I always promoted the relationship of my kids with their parents. Always. Always. That didn't happen in return. Lauren, Eric, did proof of her gaslighting help you in court at all? Dude, I haven't been to court. I've been to several attorneys. This is what my thing has been until I got some money. The 3 that I've been to, one was before she had the child, and he said it was cheaper to keep her. His best advice to me was to get back with her. Saw these notes and everything. Heard about the hitting and everything. And I'm like, I just paid you to tell me that. After the child was born, I go to another attorney. You got a great case, man. We can do this. I need $10,000 on retainer to get started. I was $10,000 in debt. I didn't have no $10,000. It's the same thing, dude. It was like, if you can't pay, you can't play. So I tried to do it the peaceful way, offer to pay for mediation, even like I'm doing right here now. And it just never. And look, yeah, I've known lots of legal experts that came on this show, right? None of them licensed in Georgia. For some reason, Georgia was one of the hardest states to find this stuff in. And it hurts me. If somebody needs an attorney that they trust, a lot of times I can say, hey, I recommend this guy. But the people that come to me in my own state, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. The last one I went and talked to, actually not long ago, again, $400 just to consult. I didn't even get a full hour, man. I know what I've got in my banking account. He wanted every single bit of it for the legitimation. After that, it was going to be $400 an hour, and if it goes to court, he was going to get paid more. I don't have it, guys. And then you got the people that say, go pro se. I'm not calling myself stupid. I think I'm a very smart guy. But if you don't do things right their way, and especially me being who I am with Dad Talk, I expect there to be some retaliation. I once went and paid a expert in this community that you pay a portion of money, you pay this money, a portion of it goes to an attorney that she gets at a discounted rate and the other goes to her, right? And she came on here, everything sounded good. I can help you get your daughter, Eric. Yes, yes. So I went and paid her in full. She was like, you don't have to do that. You can just pay a little bit, and then help me. I said, no. I was like, I get in a financial tight from time to time. I want this to happen. I'm paying you all the way up front. I did. I can show you. Wasn't long after that, and I might bring this gentleman on here because I'll be called a liar. I'd rather you hear from the gentleman himself. This guy reaches out to me. He's like, be careful putting her on your show. And dude, just like the drama that I'm talking about right here. I didn't listen to it, right? I was like, all right, here comes somebody trying to start a drama. Everybody's going to have somebody that was against him. He's like, no, man, she made me lose my kid. I was like, okay. And I just kept trying to ignore him. He's like, I'm sending you the documents. I don't know how he got my email, but he sent me the documents from the lawyers of them saying, we've been waiting on you to pay us. This man had a great case. It was time sensitive. You failed him. And because of that, we have to drop him as a client and he is going to lose his kids. This is what they were saying in this person that I had just paid to go fight for me. When he went out and told people about that, there was tried to sue him for slander. He put a counter lawsuit and beat her because he was telling the truth. I go to Better Business Bureau, ripoff report. This is going on with many different people, and this is who I was about to put my trust in and paid in full. That person to tell you I don't want my kid either. I knew better. I got saved by the bell. Unfortunately, I never got the money back, ever. It shouldn't be like this, man. It shouldn't be about money. It shouldn't. Even in the middle of all this circus right here, what is there that says any of this has to be done in order to be able to see a child? Father X, how did you get custody of your $2 from the other marriage? Did that mom abandon? I wouldn't say she abandoned. I try to do this with as much grace and dignity as I can because they're out there and I still got my kids and I know they're tired of hearing about it. They lived through it. After she cheated and did the things that she did, I said, look, I work 60 plus hours a week. It's not fair for me to let you get the kids every weekend because I wake up and leave before they even go to school and I go to sleep, as soon as I get home because I got to work. I will never have any time with my kids. Make me the deal every other weekend. If you want them in between then, I promise you I'll give it to you and I won't fight you. She agreed and signed it. That was the second time she had signed one. She signed my other daughter over to me earlier on, full custody, non-contested. That was 2 times, and at least me and her came to an agreement. Then she gets them every Tuesday, even though it only says every other weekend. She gets them every Tuesday. Last night, my daughter was like, can I stay the night? Yes. I've never kept them away. Even when there was times I don't want to go, you're going. But that's what happened in that one. And dude, that was a very hurtful relationship too, man. It did. It made me a stronger person. I'm beyond it. It took a lot of hard time. Be one of those things you find out about the things that was going on. You need to let that go. The past is in the past. That's your problem. You hold grudges. I heard about it last week. I found out about it last week. And you're just expected. Oh, it's over. It was hard, man. It was hard to get over some of that. Somebody committing an affair on you, dude, does a number on you in many different ways. You feel betrayed, but it hits your confidence. Was I good enough? What did I do wrong? It sucks, it sucks, but I made it through. You know what? I hope they're happier. I'm happier. I want my kids and I want to get beyond this crap. That's a part of my chapter. This one is the one I can't get beyond. We have an army of fathers out there. We just need to spread the word. I agree. That's it, man. Agree, Father X. If he's so bad, how did he have custody of his older girls? So I also ended up getting 50-50 custody of my other daughter. Me and her mom came to an agreement at a Burger King without going to the courts. She was begging to come and live with me. She did it for years before it actually happened. I'm going to tell you, it was one of the hardest challenges I ever went through, man, because she was 13. I got to see her every other weekend. It was not even every other weekend when she was a kid. That was the one that I found out the day before that her mom was moving her across the country to Virginia. And I said, please don't do that to me, and was paying child support. And she did it. And so there was like a year, and it was always hard to connect with her because I didn't have the time. I didn't know who she was, and me and her mom had two completely different sets of rules. So it was always kind of hard to connect. But she started seeing me when I had custody with the girls, and Daddy, I want to be with you. I want to be with you. And so we came to that agreement. She came over. She went 13 years without Daddy in the household. Now she sees what it's like to have Daddy. I want you to do this. I expect this out of you. And as long as you mind the rules, you're not going to hear anything out of me. She reminds me more of myself as a kid than any of my kids. I was the hellion. I went through some stuff, guys. Went through some stuff. My older daughter, she's 18, graduated, about to turn 19. I can't believe I have a 19-year-old. But yes, I raised them. The one I was just talking about just went back to live with her mom because there was some things. I didn't want the cell phone. I didn't want the social media. I didn't want the dating because there was things. And that stuff, like I said, again, that should be behind closed doors. I had to call the school to find out this is what's going on. Nobody's even telling me. I had to find out from strangers in other cases with my kids, things that were going on with my kids because parents were keeping secrets from me. And as bad as those are, again, sometimes your kids got to learn a lesson. I ran away from my parents because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. That's why I was married at 18. It was why I was divorced at 21. Right? I love my kids. I know they love me. We have a hard time because I'm going to be daddy. There's been many times it's like, well, what if being daddy makes them want to run away from you? What are they going to do if you try to do what you think is best for them and act like a father? I can't fear that I have to be a father. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do. Because kid wants the glitter. They want what they want. That's why they're a kid. And when parents don't work together and they don't co-parent, you just damage the kid. And trust me, kids know how to get what they want. They know which parent to play. Hell, I grew up in an intact family. I knew if I wanted something to go talk to my mom because my dad was going to say no. And sometimes he was wrong, but most of the time he was right when he would say no. I'd go to my mom while she was half asleep, nudge her. What do you want? Hey, mama, can I go do this? Oh, yeah, okay. And I'd come back home later. Eric, where did you go? I asked you earlier. And I could say it with a straight face because it was true, knowing that she didn't know. No, you didn't. Yeah, I did. Promise you I did, mama. I promise. I knew how to get what I wanted. Kids know how to get what they want. They're kids. Right? But yes, I raised my kids. I did a good job. I was a great father. Again, I'm such a bad guy, but you got to stay with me, right? And you need me coming to your house or stay at your house. It was a control thing. Control. And it sucks feeling like you're under somebody's grip like that. Thank you. Keith said, I have seen countrywide fathers' rights groups be destroyed by the owner making the movement about his case. That's why you've never seen me do it. Oh, and that's part of the problem, dude. I've seen some people that are very great speakers, and instead of telling other people's stories like we have, it becomes about their personal case all the time. All the time. And that gets old. There's so many other stories to be told. Why haven't I told my story before? Because look, dude, even as bad as some of this is, compared to the John Mass and stuff like that, I didn't really have it that bad. I thought I had it bad until I met some of these other guys. Let me help them get out their stories. Let me go talk to these grieving families and do what I can. Let me try to create this space where other guys are talking about their cases so they're hearing it from more person than just one, so they don't feel alone and they realize we are all going through the same issues and it's the same playbook being used, right? It was, man. I was done with it. Hakuna Matata. Oh, what a wonderful day. What you do, Eric, I salute you. It makes others keep moving forward. Regardless of what side of the pond we are from, we are all swimming against a current called the corrupt system. Dude, it's people like you and all these other guys that make me keep going. Hey, hell no, it's a vacation, not a prison sentence. That's exactly what it would feel. So, I want to know who your sexy co-host is on Saturdays. He seems like a fine, distinguished, silver-haired hunk of a man. Did you guys see him with Louis Ferrigno from Incredible Hulk? I was a little jealous. That was cool, dude. That used to be me and my daughter's thing when we was younger. I liked playing Uno and Skip-Bo and watching the Incredible Hulk, the original Incredible Hulk. Really cool. I think his name is Dwayne Ward. Pretty cool guy. He's heard me say this before. So, Eric, given your experience, what advice would you give to parents going through this? What advice would you give yourself if time travel was possible? Heal. I would tell yourself not to rush into a relationship. And trust me, guys, I had plenty of people telling me not to, but I did it anyway. I'm a hard-headed SOB sometimes, okay? But I would say take the time and learn to love yourself. The reason I was so quick to rush into another relationship is because I needed to have a value placed on me by somebody else wanting me rather than me being happy with myself. I should have took some time, as embraced the suck of the divorce and the change and everything. I should have just embraced it for what it was, gotten through it, and I would have came out stronger on the other side. After me and her broke up, I was forced to do that break. And over time, I hated being alone in the beginning, not having somebody to have that nuclear family and spend that time with. But I started getting used to it, to the point, by the time I met my wife, I was starting to get afraid of actually having somebody. I started liking me. And dude, then I got called egotistical and everything because I would dress up or I would take care of myself or wear cologne. Oh yeah, that was the thing. If I wear cologne, it breaks the baby out. It gives them allergies, everything. I wasn't supposed to wear cologne. But for the first time, I started feeling good about myself and taking care of me. Do that. Even now, if you're going through this, take care of yourself, take care of your health, make yourself look good. If you look good and you feel good, it softens the blow of stuff like this. What advice would I give to the parents? Don't give up. If you feel like there's no relief from the system, that doesn't mean you walk away. That means you get involved somewhere else. That's what I did here. I couldn't afford to fight inside the system, so I came out here and did what I can to expose the system and ask for change to happen. Just telling you how much it's not about my story. The one time I did get to go testify in front of the Georgia legislation where I had interest, there were several experts lined up to testify on the behalf of shared parenting, and they called me up and we had limited time. And it was one of those moments at the microphone that I've waited for this so long. And I'll tell you what I said, guys. This is recorded. I said, I've waited for this moment for a very long time. However, there are some experts and researchers here that know the data more than me. I know we're on limited time, and I would like to give my time to them. And I finally got my chance to speak, and I still stand by that. I didn't make it about me. I know you are going through your stuff, guys. But I want you to recognize we all are. Sometimes it's hard for us to see beyond our own personal cases. And it's okay for you to vent about your case. But make sure if you want people listening to you, that you're listening to them. A lot of time people are listening just to hurry up and speak rather than comprehending. I've been bad at that at times myself. I try to put myself in check every single day. Listen as much as you speak. Make sure you're documenting everything. The red flags that I would tell you, prevention is better than the cure. If you see them putting a wedge between you, your friends, your family, that is somebody that will put a wedge between you and your kids. If you look at the signs early on, you can see this and you can prevent it. There's nothing telling you that you got to rush. Yes, this life is short, okay? But at the same time, You don't have to rush into that. Yeah, Jason Newell, here's some good advice. Stop signing marriage certificates. If I could go back in time, I'd stay unmarried. Dude, that's a popular one. You know what? That can be between you and your spouse. You don't have to do it with the government. Yeah, here it goes. He's lying about everything, and I have documents and proof. He mixes some truth with lies. Another fake profile. Here she is. I read your note verbatim. Verbatim. And I'm telling you, here she is again, guys. You have no idea. Watch this. Bye. She said I added to it and twisted it. Would you like me to release the whole letters? I'll do it. I did not. No. I did not. But that's it. Hello. Thank you. She was watching the whole time. Fake profiles everywhere. And this is the crap I'm talking about. You can't get away from it. Can't get away from it. Posting stuff about everything. Y'all like that? Thank you. What a sad life she has. Eric got a channel and so much more. She has only the hate for him. She hates me. Hates me. Hates my guts. You know what's crazy? Remember earlier how I said they'll tell you a little bit of truth, leave out a little bit, so it twists it back to their narrative? Now that's what I'm doing. I will release it. She does. She absolutely does. And I don't want that. I don't want it. I promise you I don't. Oh, yeah. That's why I blocked. I blocked a long time ago. A long time ago. Mike, get it out of your system today, brother. Venting as always. Don't hold back. Getting all out today and come tomorrow. Don't utter a word about it again. Don't let them trigger you again. It's not triggering. For the first time, I get to say my piece. I'm telling you, after the hitting, going to the system, feeling like there was no relief, there was a point in time that I was scared to get on here and do what I'm doing now. I'm not scared. I've been empowered through this. I've already lost how many years with my daughter? What have I got to lose now? Seriously? You're not getting me for defamation. I read your letters. You take excerpts of me and make completely fake narratives about it. I read it. Narcissism playbook. Play the victim of what they are guilty of. Yeah, he says little truths. I said little truths. Hold up. Let me show you little truths, guys. Let's go back. Are you ready? Hold up. You can sign on to your next profile. Let me know that you're still watching. Hold up. Roast break. Where was it? I didn't throw a phone at you. I was at my rope's end and I chunked the phone into the car. I did not mean to hit you. I tell little truths. You want to admit to it. And then it won't be that bad. I didn't hurt them. I didn't hurt you. They taunt you about it. They'll do something, and instead of apologizing and saying I'm wrong, taunt you and tell you that you were crazy. You're not taunting me. I'm standing up to you. And you don't like it, do you? You don't like it. Crazy, man. That was me and my stepdad. 95% of the time, if I really wanted something, I could ask my dad and he would say yes. Same with my dad. Yeah, you're talking about the parents, playing the parents. But yeah, dude, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's like they lean their head out. Smeagol. Here comes Smeagol. Does it not? Carmen. Sounds exactly like Amber Heard, just saying. Do you know why that case gaslit me so bad? As I was sitting there watching that, and I think that was probably the same with a lot of you guys, but my particular case, I didn't mean to do that, or I didn't do that, but I didn't mean to do that, but it did that. It was the same. It was Amber Heard before it was Amber Heard. And now we'll be clean, clear, and convinced that it's all a lie. Everything I do is a lie. Get over yourself. If you heard all that and you want to talk about that, here, solution. I'll pay for mediation, name the place, time. You want to come on here? I tell you what, you want to say a little truth? I will scan these documents. You can see it verbatim and show me where I skipped over anything except your hair. She has a hair condition. That's it. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm telling you, from this moment, I can move on. It is going to be a diatribe of this, and this. But that is way more. Dude, it is. It is more than that, guys. At the end of the day, I want to move on to other stories because I've got some important stories to tell coming up. Did Eric ever meet Johnny Depp yet? You know, I'm actually kind of a little disappointed in Johnny. I know he's been through a lot and he wants a break, but Johnny, so did I. And look what I'm doing. I turned my pain into purpose. And there is a lot of guys that you could be a very big voice for. You could help us in ways that nobody else is going to be able to help us. Get the word out. Get the resources. You wanted the public to help you. They want you to help them because it's the average Joe that's going through this, being abused, having accusations. You see mine? I think mine would almost compare. I didn't have a turd on the bed, but I had a lot of other stuff, bud. I had shit, just not on the bed. Okay? You could be a very, very big influencer behind this. And I'm disappointed that you didn't, because many people stood by you. We would like you to stand by us. I really think I can visually see the positive therapy happening with you finally getting this out. I've never wanted to do it, Dwayne. I had a co-host very early on that kept asking me to do it. And it was, dude, in that point in time, I couldn't talk about it without my just whole body. I have the trauma from it, dude. You got to understand something, guys. I never, ever, ever thought I was getting out of it. I didn't think I was getting out of it. I thought every day, this is what life is now, and you're going to regret this. You've messed up. And I'm going to tell you, do I like everything that I did? There at the end? No. But it was what I felt like I needed to do. With someone like that, there is nothing I could have done. Nothing I could have done to have made it go any smoother. Show the turds. So, no, you're okay, man. I'm just, no, you're okay, man. It does help though, Dwayne, because anybody that's ever questioned why I'm here or don't know what it's like, you have no idea. Dwayne. Oh, I know you never wanted to talk about it. This was the last thing you wanted to do from our convos, but having doing it, you can see the positive therapy like a weight lifted. Well, now you know. Now you know. The problem with that is my family's pictures personal details and everything that has nothing to do with when I can see my daughter and when I can't, a failed relationship that was a living hell, is all over the internet. The last thing in the world that I want. But we got to assassinate the character. Have you met anybody new? Has anybody else taken you? God, I hope so. Any of you takers? Are you looking for somebody? Okay, I got to calm myself down. I do this stuff and then I regret it. I was going to try to make a joke out of it. So Matt David. So a professional squatter in Illinois blames Eric for a missing laptop because he refuses to talk about a third person's unrelated ongoing felony case. Another argues that because Eric was ultimately successful in his family case, he's unqualified to talk about family law. When the 50-50 movement is reduced to this, it's game over. Yeah, dude, that's the thing, dude. It's several different things. The thing with Cash Jackson was here before I was. There's a lot of people that believe in Cash, and there is some guy that I have no idea who he is that has control of Cash's page right now. And because I won't talk about him and his girlfriend, I've become an enemy. But he's making it look like it's because I won't get behind the Cash case. And that's just something I don't want to talk about on here, and it's for a reason. I'm not involved in it, and I don't know the details of that case. I could hurt Cash's case because I don't know about it, okay? I will have a phone call with him very soon. I will. I hate that the system has done this, where people think this is their only option. I'm not saying that he thought that was his only option. Again, it's hard to talk about a case that you don't know the details. But this is some of the stuff. Like, it's at every angle. When you are a loud voice behind something, you become the responsibility of everything that's going on there. And it's just not true. Anybody that would want to be the president of the United States is severely mentally disturbed in the head, because you become the blame of everything. Which, that guy right now is kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, the thing. Come on, Pootie Tank, man. Anyway, trying to get a little humor in there. Michael Keller. I just had my 10th year celebration of being single, but I'd rather stay MGTOW, buddy. Definitive no from my side. You know what, man? Michael, I'm with you. If that's what does good for you, man. And like, I understand MGTOW more and more every single day. The part that I don't understand with MGTOW, which kind of ticks me off sometimes, like I had a guy that came on there, Eric Carroll is a fraud. Everybody stop listening to him. Well, why do you say he's a fraud? Because when he gets off of there, he's a stepdad. Because I'm a stepfather. Now I'm a fraud too. What about being a stepfather was something wrong? Now, if I was stepfather and I was Mighty Mouse and I was trying to completely block the other parent out, no, dude, that's the dad. You're not going to see me step in the way, and I respect that relationship. We actually get along. We co-parent on that side. But because I'm a stepdad, like some of the rules with MGTOW, I don't get it. Sometimes we become too much in that box. But guys that say, I want to avoid that, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to get into this, I don't blame you. And if that's what you want to do, brother, I'm going to cheer you on. If there is another guy that wants to give a stab at it later after he's got his act together and he is sure and he finds that and it's happiness, there's a reason why it takes a man and a woman to make a child, and that we all exist, right? We are supposed to be together. Unfortunately, the laws has made things like MGTOW, right? But if there's somebody that does that and they become happy, I'll be proud for them too. Just don't do these things again. I was a guy that did it again and again and again. You know, I kept doing a lot of the same things, man. And it's no different. Even that detail is very common for these guys. I used to keep my ex's boyfriend informed of how to keep her in a relationship. Her in a relationship provided me peace. Dude, that guy could be your best friend. He doesn't have to be your enemy. That's why I say it's not the stepdad, as there was a stepdad that came in there and did what they were supposed to do and wanted to be a masculine figure to my daughter. I might actually get along with him. That's not the one that worried me. Unless you get the guy in there, which is all right. So listen to those notes. Like, he punched me, beat me, choked me to death, left me to drown in my own blood, or stuff like that. Now, what happens when the next guy gets told that about me? And it's this revolving door. And instead of like reaching out, hey, dude, like, are you doing this? It was the same thing when I heard the stories, and because that guy was no longer here, it was easy to believe, right? Easy. So there's no telling what's going on. Her third husband that's been called abusive, but all three of us filed for divorce on her. Eric, it makes sense. Why do people believe them? Because there's a narrative. It's so easy to believe that a man would do something like that. And because that's what society has made people, the emasculation and the importance of dads and all of that being taken out. That's got a lot to do with it. Absolutely. Lauren, I'll be honest, I was kind of a mighty mouse. I was going to save her from these guys. I understand the error of my ways now. Well, there's a lot. I'm not going to say all of us. A lot of us do it, Lauren. I learned from it, but have you sat here and heard me try to justify any of it? I was mighty mouse, blue pill, simp, you name it. I wanted to save. I'm coming to save the day. And boy, did I, yep. Chad, I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days. I'm so angry how much negativity this adds to everything we are trying to accomplish. I am too, man. You would never hear this crap come out of my mouth, ever. And if there is any testament to that, in the 3.5 years that I've been doing it, you haven't seen me do something like this before. I felt like it's gotten to a point that it has to be addressed. It sucks having a platform sometimes, guys, and doing this. It does. You become a target for many people. But I also know, like standing there watching Jeff Younger at UNT, when they were rioting at this guy going and speaking up for what he believes and talking about his son, rioting. It was that moment that really put my butt in check and said, in order to get this thing where it needs to go, like, that's the face of change right there. Martin Luther King was killed. And what didn't happen peaceful. I mean, he was a leader that he stuck his life on it, right? And so there's going to be opposition. And until you start seeing opposition, you might not be making a mark. But the most disappointing thing for me was, if we have opposition towards this, I wouldn't expect it from people that have fathers' rights in their name or tagged along with it. I would expect it from the outside. I didn't expect it here. It takes a man and a woman to make a child, but it takes a village to fleece the family resources until the family devolves. But don't worry. It's all in the best interest of the child. It's always best interest of the child. Best interest of the wallet. In our DNA, we are protectors. It's easy to be that way. It is, dude. It's easy to fall for this. It's natural that men want to protect themselves so they don't even see themselves being caught into the narrative. I agree, Amanda. All right. That's long. And I recorded the other one, so I guess that's been, what, like 4 hours of Dad talking? You guys are still here. You guys are still here. Thank you. Thank you. This was my therapy session. I always said Dad Talk today. I wanted it to be the platform I wish I would have had when I needed it. Today, I needed it. Today, I needed it. I needed to talk to the people that I've been fighting for. I needed to come out of the shadows from where I've been trying to keep you guys away from this bullcrap that's going on. And let me tell you, when we say how bad does it get, it's 24 hours a day. It goes on all the time. I don't think any of you are interested in hearing about it. I don't think this is anything you worry about. But when it comes to this point where you're going and talking to people's exes, telling them they're not alienated, that they're making all this money and trying to shit on everything that we're doing, trying to make for these parents. Yeah, it was time to speak. Sadly, there are a lot of men that profit from this system. Dude, there is. And even the ones, like I said, there's a lot of people that work here that might have had good intentions when they got into it. How many kids, when they're growing up, think, I want to be a lawyer? I heard that. That was supposed to be the profession that you go into if you want to make money. I want to be a lawyer. I did the schooling. I went there for 7 years. Now I've got a family, but my job is working in this family law stuff. I got there, and then this is what's going on. Now, if I talk down on it, I don't have a livelihood, right? So you get in a catch-22. Or if I talk down on it, I'll get chastised by the system. There's a lot of people that make money on family law. There is a lot of money in hope. There is a lot of money in telling parents, in order to see your kids, you have to pay the price tag. In order to see your kids, you're going to have to go in here to somebody that hates your guts and use a third party to sit there and sling mud back and forth so we can find out who's got the most mud and who we want to believe. And then it starts what you see here online with the people throwing the rocks back and forth each other, right? Like it's been doing here. Until that moment, like I said, no pictures. You still haven't heard no names. But there's my story. You guys understand me a little bit better now? Theme song goes with it even more now. The one that you hated. The one you didn't want to believe. I'm the mess that you created. I am the mess that they created. You even know, did you want, be glad this is a letter and not a Facebook retaliation. Dude, there was stuff going on social media way before Dad Talk. I sat there and took and took and took. Lauren, earlier in the podcast, embrace the suck. Somebody has been talking to some vets. Did you really figure that out just by that? Yes, I have. I went to a meeting with some veterans that allowed me in there because I wanted to understand them better. And I realized, like, I understand their family law part of it, but there's something that's going on in there that I don't know that I get it. And I was invited. I was invited because I wanted to learn, and they embraced me. They said they never let civilians in there, but they made an exception for me. And I got taught so much, man. It opened up my eyes to things I had never seen. And I realized when I was talking to veterans, I was doing it all wrong. You don't go around there and like, oh man, you know, I'm so sorry for what you go through. It's embrace the suck, man. Get up. This is what I need you to do right now. You're going to get out there. You're going to get your ass out of bed. You're going to get up today. You're going to go start telling people about what's going on. We're going to go get these laws changed, and we're going to do this. I haven't been doing that. They're used to being told, we're going to war. I need you to get ready. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. Embrace that suck. But I'm over here. Thank a veteran. Thank you for your service. Man, I'm sorry they're doing this. I've been doing it all wrong. I've been doing it all wrong. And for any of the veterans out there, I apologize. And I think they know that too. Like I didn't know, but I get it. I really got to listen to their hearts. And that's why it was important, man, for men to have a safe place to speak. Because without those men having a safe place to speak and inviting me in, I'd still be over here thanking you for your service and telling you everything's going to get better, right? Hell no, get off your asses, man. Do what you came here to do. Stop crying. We got a war to fight here. We got to fight for our kids. We got to get these laws changed. We can't let people sit here and make these allegations about us. We can't let people come and say this crap about us and make us go hide in the shadows. I'm not hiding in the shadows anymore. It was never that I wanted to in the first place. But guys, get out here, embrace it, lock arms, start encouraging each other. And then when you see this bull crap going on with these people flinging these rocks, I want you to get out there and say, I'm not participating with it. Don't do it. Is that how I'm supposed to talk to veterans? I mean, that was really me anyway. Yeah, embrace the suck, man. Embrace it. I guess I need to be talking to myself right now. Eric, you got to embrace the suck. It sucks that you go through this. It sucks you have to do cars to do what you do. And then when you go and do cars, somebody will try to bring that up too. Then they'll try to say that you're making this money. Oh, because they don't want you doing it. Embrace it. It sucks. It's the community that's doing it to me. But I don't give a damn, man. You know why it doesn't shake me as much, guys? It's because I know when I get off of here, we'll come back tomorrow. I'm about to go try to build a new platform. I've got a whole schedule that's lined up, and I don't have to do that shit. I don't have to do that shit. I know how to get things done because I know how to have the eyes on the prize. And I wish more people would too. And so I apologize to my audience right now, the ones that tune in to listen, to hear, to vent their problems, not to be my counselor, not to be my listening ear. I apologize to you guys right now for having to hear that. You are here. You want to see your kids. You want to see the system change. You want to do dad talk, not Eric Carroll talk. So I apologize to you that you had to hear this. You understand me? I had to address it. This has been going on for a long time, and I haven't addressed it. I had to address it. Okay? Keep it on the kids. Keep the focus on the kids. Keep the focus on the mission at hand. What do you guys want me to talk about tomorrow? Huh? Come on, give me some subjects. I need to get something to drink and puff on my pacifier. It's like my pacifier. Yeah, dude. Stuff going out. Eric tells kids it's okay to vape. I'm doing all that. I mean, dude, I've had everything going. I appreciate it, Joseph Villarreal. I'm proud of this guy right here, man. I'm definitely proud of you. Yeah, man. That's it, man. I'm one of you guys. Nothing special. I have a tendency to go 100 miles per hour behind this thing, and I have a hard time not working towards it, even when I need to get away from it. I will be taking a break with my family coming up. I might not be able to keep doing the everyday podcast, guys, because I got a lot of things that I'm going to have to work on. And I'm just realizing now this needs way more than social media. Way more. Social media has been here for a while. It's good to help get the word out, but I tried the legislation. I don't believe in the legislation at all. At all. If you get it done, I congratulate you. I appreciate you. At the same time, there's nothing saying they can't flip it back around. I don't trust them. And I feel like it's going to abusers and asking people to stop abuse. You know? Huh. Thanks, man. Somebody said, I'm concerned you are leaving Facebook. I am leaving. I'm staying on here, the podcast. You guys that are commenting right here, it'll keep going. This will keep going on here as far as like, and I'll read the comments when I'm on the show and stuff like that. As far as like being in a messenger, interacting in the community and some of the other stuff, man, I want to focus on the work. I don't want to. Another thing is like all this drama and stuff that goes on. I got some other stuff I want to do. I want to talk about music. I mean, like I'm known as Eric Carroll of Dad Talk Today, the guy that goes and talks about family law courts. 15 years ago, I was Eric Carroll, the addict, the opiate addict, because I was in a marriage where multiple affairs and stuff was going on. I had no self-confidence, and I started using opiates to medicate. And it was one of the darkest times of my life. It was something I said, I'm never going to be able to get out of this. And I defeated that. But I remember how isolated and alone I felt because I hid. I didn't want anybody to know that I had went through a struggle. And you don't think anybody's going to understand you. You want to get help. You want to say something. But I always promise myself, I remember that feeling. And I will use that story to help others. And I haven't even gotten to do that yet, guys. That is a part of my story too. Before I went to start Dad Talk, I was wanting to go back to school to become a substance abuse counselor. I have a heart for that, for the addicts. A lot of people just look at them as people that want to use drugs. There was something that was going on up here that attracted them to that. And I'm going to tell you, during all of this, it would have been easy to go back to something like that. And I didn't do it. It would have been easy, especially like the one time I sipped on some alcohol. I could tell I could get sucked back into this because I will use it to medicate my problems, not because I want to drink. Okay. But Paul, he said one day a sports show. Absolutely, dude. I got my friend. I don't know if you guys saw it, Mr. Ray McElrathbey. They made the movie Disney. Disney made the movie Safety about him. It's about his he was got a full scholarship to Clemson. After that, his mom was caught smoking crack cocaine. So his younger brother was going to go to the system, and he went and signed for custody of his brother and snuck him on Clemson's campus with us. Good friend of mine. Sports, entertainment, music, video games, cooking, health and fitness, dating, like that with Jimmy. I want to work on some other stuff so it doesn't feel like, I'd like to make this thing more than just the family law, because I think sometimes, like right now, if the outside came in and saw me talking today, I am not stupid enough to not know this would be repulsive to the people that we're trying to educate. Why would you want to get involved with this? It would be repulsive. I want to go work on some other stuff. And then when I do the films and some of the other stuff that I do, I can be behind the camera and not on the camera. I'm tired of being Eric Carroll from Dad Talk Today at times, guys. I want to be another stranger in the crowd, but I'm a creative guy and I love doing what I do. Okay. So, yeah, I got some stuff coming up, and that's why that Substack. Yes. Now I'm back to it. Do me a favor. Here's my new platform. And I plan on doing a lot over there, guys. I've already got several articles. One about the father bias. I did one up on Dr. Warren Farrell. I did one about how many men experience domestic violence and don't report it. Did one on Australia's problem with domestic violence. A lot of stuff. I'm going to be able to do post a podcast over there. I'm going to be able to do audio podcasts if I can get time to do it. But I'm also starting this Thursday for those that go and sign up for the yearly membership right now. I got two different things. I got several different things for that yearly membership lined up. I am right now designing a shirt that's going to be like a founder shirt that I want to gift out to everybody for going and being that founding member over on the Substack for helping us out. Along with that shirt and that membership, you will get access to once a month a private Zoom chat with me and what other advocates have joined up in there to just come and vent. It'll be our little space. And I will say in the very beginning of this, you are not to use anything or record this outside of this conversation, because I want my guys to have a safe space in order to be able to talk. So you'll get that as well as when the films come out, I'm going to put them on there. The ones that are made by me, I am going to put them in there, and then you'll get access to them. If you're not a member, I'll also put the other ones probably on YouTube or some other platform, and they'll be pay-per-view because we have to pay back what it costs to make them. Okay. And the one thing I've never done with Dad Talk is make a business structure. We need a business structure in order to be able to fight a $60 billion a year business. Okay. So if I can make some way of people coming back and doing this with me, this is my plan. I promise to give you guys resources. Nothing would thrill me more than for us to go and make this thing, not have to worry about all of this bull crap. And then that. So please go in. Music. Don't get me started on that, Loren. John Nichols, Mark Roseman would be a good one to have. Dr. Mark actually used to have a show on Dad Talk Today. I haven't gotten to talk to Dr. Mark in a long time, but the last time I saw him, man, I went and raised like $8,000 to help keep his business open. That's where I met Robert Garza. We flew down there and worked for like a whole week trying to help him keep that open. I hope he's doing well. But there's another one that we helped. We helped tremendously. Asked for nothing in return. He was one of the first podcasts on Dad Talk Today. Haven't heard anything out of him in a while. But guys, go check that out. Let me pull that up again. Get that Substack. Let's get it in here. This is going to be a platform where I can get my creativity out and just get away from it. My wife I think she left like Facebook 5 years ago, deleted it off her phone, got off of social media. I was always like, man, you don't want to keep connected with people. No, I don't want it. I'm so jealous of her now. I'm so jealous. Dude, when I was gone for that 2 weeks and we was doing the films out of town, I wasn't able to see this. I put a couple of posts out there while I was out of town. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. I haven't ate today. Put a couple of posts out there to letting people know what was going on, but I wasn't seeing all of this. And then when I got back, the ugliness of the world got reminded to me again, on top of the stress and everything. It was like, this can't be the movement that I just went and fought for over here to make this stuff, to come back and see, like, are these the people that are going to support it? Are these the people that are going to be doing the work between trying to fix it and everything? Like, I hope this isn't the visual of what people think father's rights or a dad talk is. You do realize me talking about this, I look like an extremist, terrorist, misogynistic, right-wing conspiracy theorist because I do something called dad talk. I'm telling you, I've faced all of it. I will go to any side of the aisle. I met Donald Trump. Do you know how much hell I got for going and seeing Donald Trump? I went and tried to see Joe Biden. I would go to any of them. When I was doing politics, I would go to any of them. But because I had went to one side and this world is so divided, dude, you have no idea. I posted my picture with Trump when I finally got to him. He was the president. I was happy. He still got political power. But I was happy to be able, dude, I had like 500 FUs in less than 5 minutes. I'm unfollowing you. Like, you say you want something done in this area. I don't care what letter they got beside their name. If you're doing that and then you're getting that type of action done, it's like, dude. And then I had people that accused me of Donald Trump, my picture with him being a cardboard cutout. It wasn't real. They started going around, oh, it was fake, until my video came out of me and him shaking hands and him saying, hey, Eric, how you doing? Yeah, I met a cardboard cutout. Dude, it's crazy. Yes, get Substack. Substack. What kind of music do you guys play? I am a metal guy. I am a traditional metal guy. Let me tell you something. Late, like 2005 to 2010, I made my living off of 80s bands. When I was booking bands, it was becoming classic rock, and all of those bands came back into style. People want to relive their childhood, from Rat, Warrant, Skid Row. Shoot, dude. All the 80s bands. I booked them. Got to see them. That was really cool. That was the hair metal, though. I was more into Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera, like some Slipknot. I love metal. But my music, I was very like stuck in that metal phase when I was younger. But one of my favorites now, dude, is Elvis. I am a Elvis fanatic. I love Elvis Presley. I didn't understand Elvis when I was growing up because that was my parents' generation. But I get it now. And then Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash, man. I didn't get him in the beginning. I love some Johnny Cash. Nobody tells stories through songs like Cash. And then one of my really guilty pleasures that I drive people crazy with sometimes, you either love him or you hate him, Hank Williams Sr. Like, I love outlaw country. I will not listen to the country music of nowadays. I think it is a disgrace to call that country music. Okay? But Hank Sr., Johnny Cash, Elvis. I love that stuff, man. But I also, when I want to get romantic, you know, hang out with my wife, I got the Al Green. Y'all know anything about the Al Green? Anyway, I was about to start singing some songs. I can't do that. That gets me all excited. But yeah, I like some Al Green. So my stuff's all over the thing, but my heart was always metal. I loved rock and roll. I loved rock and roll. They call me fake news. Yeah. See, look, I mentioned Al Green, and now my head's on one thing. That's it, man. Let's stay together. You know he's a pastor now? He is a pastor. I think my favorite song with him is Love and Happiness. Love and happiness. Something make you feel wrong. Love and hop. Never mind. Anyway. All right, guys. That's it. Have I ever heard of B-Talica? I have not. I have never heard of B-Talica. I know all of my favorite, Tired of Being. I'm so tired of being alone. Those of us who have been in this for as long as we have know and can tell the difference between truth and lies, facts and fiction. We know the people who are stable and those who aren't. I agree, man. And I think it's, I would never do to people the things that have been done to me. And I guess that's the part that hurts. And that's why I read the note. I don't have to sugarcoat anything for you. I read the note. It should tell you everything that you need to know. Oh, you got a metalhead too. I like some old school Accept. I listen to Accept a lot. But I'm going to tell you, if you're a metal guy, even if you're not a metal guy, one thing I learned, especially going through divorce, breakup, parental alienation, be careful listening to the depressing music. I love it. The Nirvanas, the Shinedowns, the Seethers, and stuff like that. Be careful with it, because it can make your mood go down even more. But one band that gets me pumped, man, I give you guys a little behind the scenes. I'll listen to it before I get on this show, because I got to get especially if I haven't woke up yet and I got to get the energy flowing. Hatebreed. Dude, listen to Destroy Everything. I Will Be Heard. Defeat Us. In Ashes They Shall Reap. Born to Bleed. Fighting to Succeed. Built to Endure What the World Throws at Me. Dude, it is like, destroy everything that makes you weak. I Will Be Heard. Go listen to some of that stuff, guys. It will pump you up when you feel like you need that extra little energy. Love to hear how versatile your likes of music have become. It's good for the soul. Dude, it's crazy that it has, because I'm telling you, I was very in that corner. It had to be rock and roll. Or I wasn't listening to it. I think the Hank Sr. came first, then it became Elvis, and then I got stuck on the Johnny Cash. Then I started opening up a lot more. Good friends with Waylon Jennings, the grandson of Waylon. Waylon was another one. He's one of the legends. Then like I said, man, if I'm wanting to have a chill out day and I'm happy, I'm listening to Elvis. If I'm wanting to make a fire, I'm listening to Johnny Cash or Hank Sr. If I want to get pumped, I'm going to have my Hatebreed, Pantera, or Slipknot. And if I want to make love, I'm going to have Al Green. It's like, here's the thing. And I love it. I love the R&B, but it's him. Like, that's the one I want to listen to. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if I wasn't created. I don't want to know that, really. They was probably listening to Al Green. There's some reason I like it so much. And I hear Al Green, I'm already on the bed doing that right there. Like, come on, baby. Hey, baby. Yeah, dude, I love music. See, when I'm Family Law, that whole show, it's tense, right? Just being able to talk about music, joke with you guys, smile on the face. So I want to start balancing it out a little bit, right? Yeah, I want to start opening up the floodgates a little bit more, showing a little versatility in some of the things that we're doing. That's my plan. You guys gonna be back tomorrow? If I promise not to talk about myself? Hey, maybe off topic, but would you like a collection of Elvis 33s? Pay shipping and they can be yours. What's 33s? Hold up now. Don't be talking about Elvis like that. You're a liar. I look up 33s and it pulls up tires. Is that like what's this called? A-Trax? Records? Oh yeah, baby. I'd love to have some Elvis records. Write the Facebook page on Dad Talk. My yeah. My secretary, I get that. All right, look, I've just never heard it called 33s. I've got tons of them. Like I used to have hanging to show you how much of a single dad, early young single dad I was. I didn't have pictures hanging up with the family and stuff. I had records hanging up all over the walls in my living room, guitars and stuff like that, ashtrays. Yeah, dude, everything had to be rock and roll. I'm surprised. I really am surprised that I haven't still had some hand in music somehow. It meant that much to me. And music, I could tell you my life story by giving you a playlist. By the time you listen to that playlist, you'd know who I was because it wasn't just the sound of the music or the vocals. I was a guy that really took the lyrics to heart. And I don't just listen to music to listen to it. It's got to appeal to me. It's got to have some meaning to it. Right? And I miss it. I got 3 guitars sitting around me, drum set and everything that are dusty. Like dusty, man. Yeah, bring back records. Hey, man, there's a lot of people that's getting records now. A lot of people that's getting records. I tell you what's sad. Like, you guys seen Limp Bizkit or Korn on Classic Rock? Hard to believe 99 was 24 years ago. Korn, Limp Bizkit, you know. TRL is about 30 years ago. Total Request Live. You guys are going to hate me here in a minute if I keep up with that. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Yeah, I saw that the other day. Have you guys seen Limp Bizkit's new video? I got tired of it there for a while because of Fred Durst. He drove me crazy. But go look at their new music video. It's actually pretty funny. They're doing like the deep fakes. I tell you, you think false allegations are bad right now? You think false allegations are bad right now? Have you seen these deep fake videos where it looks like they've got somebody talking? It looks just like them. Just freaking like them. In that Limp Bizkit video, at the front, Fred Durst is Vladimir Putin. I think the drummer is Kim Jong-un. Wes Borland is Joe Biden. And like they got their deep fake faces on. It's crazy, man. And they got like this chef that's out there. I forget whose face is on him. He's got the Woodstock apron. It's a really cool video. Go see it. It's when I think about that, I think about how old I am, but I miss that. I do. I miss that. I was never a sports guy. I was into WWE wrestling. I don't even watch it anymore, but I loved it. I loved it with a passion. It doesn't even look anything like I liked the Ultimate Warriors and the Hulk Hogan's and the ooh yeah. That wasn't a bad Macho Man. He was my favorite, man. I was actually friends with his brother, Lanny. He just died a couple of weeks ago, actually. He was always like one of the first ones to say happy birthday to me on my page. Super nice guy. But I love Macho Man. But yeah. And been in the gym past couple of months. That's definitely made me feel better. I can feel it. I can see it. Confidence is there. These are all things that we need, guys. These are all things that we need. Dad Talk can be one of those episodes, but in between, we can do some other stuff for our guys. We should have that safe space. We should have that place to where we can just go hang out and be amongst friends. And that's what I want it to become. Creativity. And I'll tell you this. I wish all those guys that are going to want to just keep this trash going nonstop, would you let it go? Seriously, move on. Go do something. My word is, I am moving on. But I know what happens from here. I know. We got a war to fight. We got a war to fight. That's the That's the reality of it. You know what, guys? We're going to end this thing with music. My theme music is The One That You Hated by Adler. It's Steven Adler, the drummer from Guns N' Roses. That was his band. Adler done a lot of shows for me in the past. Still friends with the guitar player, and reached out to him and was like, dude, I'd love to use that for Dad Talks theme song. And so I got permission. That's what it is. That's actually the drummer for Guns N' Roses, the original from Appetite for Destruction, Sweet Child O' Mine. I'm still dancing with Mr. Brownstone. All of that, the good ones. When Guns N' Roses sounded like Guns N' Roses. That's where he signed my arm. See the GNR? That was the only time I got starstruck. Do you think it was Donald Trump or some of those politicians? No. The dude, when I met the drummer for Guns N' Roses, like Appetite for Destruction was the soundtrack of my childhood. That was the moment that I was, oh my God. Sweet Child O' Mine is what made me want to pick up a guitar. I had to learn that. I even got like this old corny ass music video of me making a music video at Sweet Child O' Mine with me and my brother playing fake guitars and stuff in the 90s. I wish I could find that. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. On the way out, I am going to play that. And then tomorrow I'll be back. All right? Love you guys. Thank you for sitting in there with me through that. I did need to get that off my chest. And being real, not running a show, not being a podcaster, not being any of that. It's been a long time coming. I did need that. I didn't want to, but I needed it. So thank you. And I don't want to do it again. If you hear me doing it, say, Eric, shut up. You have my permission. Okay? Just don't listen to the noise. See you guys.
I'm too young to know any better, but I guess I'm just too old to care. I'm waiting on the morning light to clear the air. I'm the one that you hate.